Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes.
We appreciate y'all tuning in during this NBA rivalry week, man. Are y'all excited about that?
No, it does not feel like NBA rivalry week.
Damn.
I don't think rivalry week hasn't really felt the importance.
Say rivalry.
Rivalry. Rivalry.
It's because you
really
have to
felt
add that
important.
week after. It's like
Yeah.
rivalry.
Now say Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
He can't say and he won.
But yeah, rivalry week hasn't really felt that important for a long time.
Nah, either way.
They have been trying to Chet and Vic thing for a while. Hasn't really hit. And now, obviously, Chet can't play.
I
So,
genuinely think they got some bangers here today. I ain't
It
gonna lie.
will hit in the playoffs when the Spurs are playing against the Thunder as a 1-8 matchup.
So you got Spurs. Okay, I got the Spurs in playoffs too.
They're gonna go through the play-in route. They're gonna beat whoever they need to beat. They're gonna be the 8th seed. Damn, but they'll actually. I'm making it sound they're gonna be a 7th seed. They're gonna beat whoever they need to beat. Hopefully, they win one, lose one, to be 8. Ain't that how it work?
yeah.
No, well, they have to
no,
be
they would
at
have to win
9-10.
two. Yeah, they would have to win
They'd
two.
have to win two. And then it would have, they would have to win twice.
Okay.
First of all, they got to get back in the play-in. That's the number one
I have
thing.
no doubt. Because that boy out there. Whew.
We'll see. All I need from you at home is to leave a like on the episode and subscribe. Go to NOTBlive.com and get you a ticket to our San Francisco show February 15th at the Strand.
Get your tickets.
We
Come on,
are
baby.
almost sold out.
Last time I checked, it was at 71%.
So if you are on the fence,
That's the last time you checked or the last time you was told?
Last time I was told.
Let's say,
Bro,
man, you got the numbers for real?
Tell them they gotta get they tickets. I had somebody ask me, man, you could just tell them I'm your little cousin. I can get in. Just get the they still up.
You better.
still get the
I'm
tickets.
trying to see what Larry June doing. See if he want to pull up.
Right. So when you get your ticket with admissions, you get some merch, you get free food, free drinks, and a great-ass time, special guests. And we always do our very best to put on a good show.
And you know we in the Bay, so you know we might have Steph, Dre, Clay,
all
Iggy,
of them. Reunion
Sean
time.
Livingston. Like, you know.
You never really know. Don't count on it, but you never know.
Yeah, please don't come.
You never really know.
I said Larry June. He went to Steph Curry. He went to Steph Curry. Hey, I want to ask y'all something. Or I want to say something to y'all. Just to kind of kickstart this episode.
Hold on. We still got to drop the mic.
We do. Go ahead.
Real quick, though. Real quick.
No. I ain't got to be quick. It's your show too, Daddy-O.
Yeah, you know we here for a long time. Matter of fact, real quick before I even get into that, it's good to see y'all. Last time we was in a little virtual pod, it's always good to be in person.
But do you forgive me?
I do.
Okay. Because I had to put foot to ass with that Michael Jordan versus LeBron shit.
Yeah.
Please
know
don't
it's all
bring that
fun
here
and
today.
games. No.
The comments loved that episode, by the way.
Yeah.
I loved it too, actually.
It was fun to do.
It was fun.
Our Jordan versus LeBron was organic in a way. It wasn't even forced.
My favorite part is when I said something like, I'm not gonna speculate or be speculative.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not either. But
If
I just like it when it just be
LeBron
like,
could have had 2 more rings.
it just goes like off of basketball. Like, man, my LeBron got a school. You just got to start making other
Jordan
stuff.
ain't even sure for none of the political issues. LeBron was there.
Drop the mic though. From based on this season, and you've seen somebody win a championship, who do you think would benefit the most out of it?
I feel like we get asked this once a year on Drop the Mic, and I love it every year.
Russell Westbrook is one of the big names for me, just because he did break the record for averaging triple doubles. He won MVP. Like, only thing missing on his legacy is the championship. And I think now it wouldn't even be like he would be like just tagging along. Like, he would be a very intricate part of the Denver Nuggets with the way that they use him and the fact that he's a starter. So, like, he would be like a very key piece to winning a championship.
I don't know if people won't like my answer.
Who?
Jason Tatum. If
I was
Jason
thinking about
Tatum-
JT.
If JC was back-to-back and this time he gets the final MVP, what can you really say? Even if it ain't how you like it, even if it ain't what you wanted, even if he don't win an MVP of the regular season at any point, he's still going to be an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time champion this early in his career. How old is Jason Tatum?
27, I would say.
27. Two championships before 30. No signs of slowing up. I just feel like the whole offseason, they ridiculed him. They talked crazy about him. Even the stuff Brandon Jennings is saying. Even though I kind of think Brandon Jennings is saying some of that just because it became something, so now you got to stand on it. But like people won't have a puncher bag anymore. They're not. Like, it's just gonna be just bullshit being said. So, and then it's also I'm gonna flip the question to you. What does it mean if the Cavaliers win it? Does anybody does Donovan Mitchell become?
I think Donovan Mitchell would take a little bit of a step, but again, when I say like it benefits, I always think about like who you take not only a leap in just like your position overall in the season, like if you're a top
For all
15, but
time.
like just like, what does this do for you? I don't think it does much for Donovan Mitchell. Of
So
course, it would still be like a great accolade to add to his resume, but I don't think it does as much as for some of these other players.
I think it just overall would help his future Hall of Fame case.
Does it
Yeah.
do anything for the NBA, or should we want these championships to go to a Jokic, Tatum legacy?
No, I think
defining
it does
team?
a lot for the NBA because it goes to another small market team in Cleveland. Like, it shows you that there's value in being a small market. And it shows that even though we ain't got a super team, we still put together a nice, intricate piece around everybody. And we
They
made it
ended
work.
up being a super team.
Yeah, they ended up being one. So, like, it wasn't a forced super team.
I like it.
My answer to this is probably one of the super young guys, man. Like, if it is Shai, for him to be 25, 26 years old and already have an NBA championship, and I'm assuming Finals MVP, would be kind of insane because
that's got to be the youngest
it would
team
be
to win
one
it.
of the youngest for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, Magic Johnson was a rookie,
Tim Duncan.
but it would be one of the youngest in the modern era. We
Yeah.
would say
Tim Duncan didn't win Finals MVP though, did he? He might have, right?
he might have won it his first
Yeah,
time around.
he might have.
Either way, just like you always hear like 27. You got to be 27 is when Jordan got his first one. Bron
Yeah.
got his first one. All of these players got their first one. But for a guy to be 25 and be able to do it, and the team to be set up to be like, oh, they could do it a couple times in the next 5 years, it would be kind of cool.
As
Would
the
you-
guy too, because Kobe got his early, but he was next to Shaq.
Would y'all say that's a double-edged sword, though, for the upcoming generation? That, like, these younger players could also be put on this pedestal where they
No.
kind of have to come in and, like, speed up the process.
Well,
a
no,
little
I
bit.
think it's already happening. I don't think it has anything to do with this. I mean, people see Luka Doncic come in and be an All-NBA player in the second year and be like, any player that's not jumping off the page by 21 years old, people are giving up on them.
Yeah.
So I don't think a young player winning MVP.
There was
changes much of
conversations
that.
about Luka requesting a trade, and he was only like a couple years in.
That was last year before they went to the finals. The people were
Yeah.
speculating that could they make a trade? Could they do this? Could Luka Doncic request out? And they literally went to the finals. the
Yeah, I
same
just feel like that's internet-y.
year. Yeah, for sure.
It spills over into the real
Yeah.
media, and you'll see it on some of the networks or whatnot. But I don't think we've ever sat here and been like, man, the time is ticking for Booker. He's 25, man. He 25. He better start getting. Nah, I ain't really looked at it that way, especially with how much older players are aging. But players are now starting to age in this new evolution. They're aging pretty nice, and I'm saying that kind of slowly because I don't want to commit to just thinking that this is going to be the typical, career sunset ride that we're seeing with Steph, Bron, and KD. I don't want to condition myself to think that 36-year-olds are going to continue to look like this. But if there is a chance that this is the evolution of players aging more gracefully, then yeah, we really don't need to rush. If you're telling me a 25-year-old potentially can still be a high-level player going into his mid-30s, then that is another 10-year window of a player potentially being able to do something. So,
Do you think there will be a shift in that when you talk about the aging gracefully? You know how, like, in general, when we look at a player at the end of the career, accolades is what we talk about more than anything. Of course, you got the moments. So he did
Yeah.
this in Game 6, but it's more accolade-driven. With players, again, assuming that Shai and Luka and Wemby, all these dudes do similar stuff that Bron and Steph Curry and them are doing, which is playing to their end of their 30s and still being great. Do you think we're going to look at overall accolades and kind of put asterisks next to him?
Nah.
In the sense of, like, he played in the 2020 era. Everybody played long. So the fact that he got 20 All-NBA appearances is not that impressive. When Bron was doing it, it was in the early 2000s where people didn't play that long.
I think you
That would
always
just
going
be
to have that.
counterproductive.
but I think we see that across eras all the time.
Yeah, I think you're going to always have that just because people want to commit to their time. I used to look at my dad crazy, but then I got older and I still like reference like the 2000s because that's like my time when I fell in love with the game. So I think you can never escape that. You're never going to be able to escape your time. Like even when we talk about TV, we always talk about the old shows.
Yeah.
And then our kids are going to get older and be like, remember the iPad? Like the iPad was the thing. And then
Not our kids. Ancient generation, baby.
and then they're going to have shit that you put in your eye. To where that's really an iPad. And they're going to be like, we used to have to hold ours. So I think it's just your generation and what you're tied to. But it's going to be into something I was going to talk about. I want to talk about Scottie Pippen after this. But he said something, and I was kind of like, he not wrong, man. And they was asking about, like, the scoring. Like, they kind of LeBron and Jordan or whatever. And he was like, man, I mean, he was like, today is just a little bit easier, and I know that comes off as bitter from the older people, but he was like, it's so many lanes. When we played, there wasn't no lanes, and as a basketball
that's
player,
a true
it's
thing.
true.
That's a true thing.
And it's like you don't want to. I hate saying it to discredit anybody because you can't discredit LeBron being a #1 all-time scorer because it's like lanes or not, that's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
But like when you bring up those type of things, I'm not putting an asterisk, but it's like I have to consider that because I remember watching and Kobe was working from the mid-elbow post and he had
Two defenders on him.
Slavik Medvedenko on the opposite
Shout out
thing,
to
and it's just like where
NBA
and I'm
champion.
getting it in a phone booth now. Yeah, Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham. Well,
I like that argument way more than the game was so much more physical.
oh
Yeah.
right,
This
it
argument
was though.
But I think
But
like
at the
in
same
a sense
time,
though,
no.
it damn near has to be.
No,
physical.
hold on. The game was more physical.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think that is a good excuse to say
I'm not
that it
saying
was
it's an
harder.
excuse, but the game
I think
was
this
more
one,
physical.
for what Pippen is saying, this makes way more sense for the argument versus the crossing the eras and scoring. Because we all watch hardwood classics of the 80s and the 90s, or we grew up in the early 2000s, and how congested is probably the word, is the best word to use, compared to now where most teams are running either a 5-out or 4-out, 1 in.
Yeah.
That everybody was running 3-out, 2 ins, or sometimes it was 2-out and 3 in. It was
Yeah,
like, what
for
the
sure.
fuck is going
The
on?
physicality point though comes into play when you look at how many free throw attempts guys get.
Yeah.
If you can't hand check, that's part of physicality. Like, you know what I mean? If you can't hand check versus not being able, that's a part of the physical part. So I can't disregard that whole sentiment. But the lanes and the spacing and all of that, the 3-point evolution definitely. And it's like it don't make me discredit anybody, but that is why certain people look at especially ex-players, they're going to look at their generation and say we didn't have this, that, and the third. And it's like, it's rightful, but it's like you can't discredit nobody else's success because my argument to that is always, well, shit. LeBron? What was LeBron supposed to do? He's supposed to tell everybody, "Hey, make it more crowded, make it more crowded." He don't control. Like I'm just playing.
Yeah.
All I can do is show up and play at a high level.
I said the
I don't
best players
control
just keep
anything.
adapting and
Yeah.
just keep going with it.
And I feel like LeBron did a great job of adapting.
He did.
Came in as a dude who struggled shooting the 3-ball, and now he's one of the all-time best at shooting.
And
threes.
I'm a believer that LeBron James could have played in the air.
Yeah, he could have.
Every player can.
LeBron played physical in the early 2000s.
But
he came in during when the physicality, and he was still dominating.
I'm a firm believer that the greats of the greats would traverse any generation if you give them the opportunity to adjust.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these dudes put that much work in to be an all-time great. If you
What
give them
about Steph Curry in the 60s? Ain't
Steph
no
Curry in the
three-point line.
60,
He would-
he would be the fucking logo right now.
Yeah, there's no.
Are you kidding me? If Steph Curry walked in with that handle in the 60s, my boy, they would have had him on a
But
steak.
in the 60s, they wouldn't have had no 3-point line. So he would have been doing that shit
That's
for
what I was
2.
saying.
And it still would have been
He'd
crazy.
have been half court twos.
Steph Curry has been on a bench because his coach had been like, throw the ball inside. Why are you shooting
Give the
half
ball
court
to
2?
Greg. You know he got to clock in in 4
Exactly.
hours.
Steph Curry with a 2nd-round pick. They taking Mark Eaton over Steph Curry every day of the week. Sam Bowie is going above Steph Curry.
So went above Jordan. So
Right, yeah. So thankfully, Steph Curry is in this era. Thankfully. I don't want to see Steph
we might
Curry.
have like flying cars if Steph Curry was in the 1960s. You think about
Is
how
all
he
the revenue?
evolutionized this game. If he
Yeah.
evolutionized the game in the 60s, what basketball look like now, 60 years later?
I don't think he
It would
would
be
have.
an 8-point line.
I don't think he would have evolutionized. I think he would have been a waste of talent that we never would have seen.
I honestly feel like that too.
Yeah, they would have told his ass, "Hey, brother, you
They
got to
would've-
sit down.
They would have buried them tapes like they did the Will Hunter point game.
You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar down there, and you shooting from out there. If you don't throw him the damn ball,
He also
He play
still,
inside, outside,
He would
not
be-
outside, inside.
he would still be more efficient than anybody in that era on long twos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody that was shooting 32% from the field. Layups, 32% from the field.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Don't you
They
dare
was-
put that ball in your left hand, kid. You better keep it on that
You
right
see
side.
some of the old film, and they be telling us dribbling like Penny. If I give Penny a little bad, but she going
Dribbling like Buddy from The Office.
The Office.
Oh, Michael Scott.
No.
No, Black
Oh,
Kobe.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Stanley, yeah.
Stanley would have killed the 60s. Stop fucking around with Stanley.
That's
No,
why
you know
got-
who would have killed it? What's my girl name who Michael ain't want to pick up? He was like, God, no. And she actually had a burner on her.
It wasn't Meredith, right? No, it was
Meredith is the one with the glasses.
Aren't you
No,
supposed
that
to?
was-
that's like
You're
the
supposed
orange
to be the
hair right here.
office
I
guy.
haven't watched in like 2 or 3 years.
Damn.
I've kind of fell off.
Somebody put that on the quote, please.
Is it,
A VR graphic. I kind of fell off. Darrick Miller.
that with alongside I'm a good sport.
Phyllis.
Phyllis, yeah.
Phyllis had a game.
She had a burner?
Yeah.
She had
I
a
gotta
burn.
watch the
So
episode
the
again.
episode is Michael was picking players in the office.
Deal.
He wants to get Stanley because Stanley is black.
Right.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting you. You're definitely playing. Stanley is like, no, but he's like, no, I'm getting you. And Phyllis is like, I'll play. He like, oh God, no. But then they'll show like in between the game, Phyllis,
Knocking that down.
her, and then Kevin too.
Kevin, too.
Kevin
yeah.
had a real burner, but he was like, nah.
Is
But
that
Kevin,
Pam's first husband?
You said,
Kevin?
No, Kevin was the.
Kevin the dude that dropped the chili.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Who am I
yeah.
thinking about?
Yeah.
Pam's first husband was in the movie.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
no, he was hooping.
Okay.
He
was on
Yeah,
Craig's team,
Rob. You talking about Rob?
Okay. Yeah.
No, his name is Rob.
Rob? Roy.
Hey, man.
Roy.
Hey.
My bad.
Ain't you supposed to be the
He's
office
supposed to
dude?
be the office guy, man.
thought that was-
Jim was busting Roy ass,
was.
and Roy got mad.
That was
He crossed his ass over and he said, hey.
That was the moment Pam knew.
Yeah. I think that's when she knew.
That's why you never bring your lady to the court. You never know what's going to happen to you.
That is crazy to
The
see.
White had a mask on.
Oh, my
like
God.
he
That's
was
so
Richard
topical.
Hamilton.
That's so topical.
What?
Never bring your lady to the court. You never know what's going to happen.
Why is it topical?
Because some streaming stuff happened. They was hooping, and Julian Newman was there. Did y'all not see
Yes,
that
I
clip?
did see that. I did see Uno the activist
Yes.
versus Julian Newman, hooping wise. What was the result?
I have no
thought
idea.
they was fighting because of some words. I didn't see
Yeah, I
him
haven't-
actually play.
I don't know.
Because, Julian Newman got taps.
Yeah. Who's Mills Man's of the Week?
We got to go and we got to give it to a big fella who's been thriving actually in his new
Mark
role.
Williams? Oh, no.
Kel'el Ware.
Yeah.
Kel'el Ware has been taking
Kel'el.
over that starting spot at that center position. I'm loving him and Bam playing together. I think Kel'el Ware is doing a great job of finishing at the rim. He's being very efficient, and I just think he's just being what Miami needed for the future.
I like
Not
it.
mad at that at all.
Some of the stats he's put up this week, he gave you 22 and 10 against Milwaukee. He gave you 20 and 15 against Portland. And then he gave you 25, 8 and 2 against San Antonio. So he's really doing his thing down there.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to see them play together. That's been super fun.
I'm
Been
happy.
really fun.
I'm happy for him because he was a guy that I thought maybe I was afraid he would get lost a little bit because he came out a couple years ago. I seen him in like the U18, U19, and he was real good. Then he went to Oregon, didn't really get what he wanted at Oregon, and had to transfer to Indiana. And I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Whenever somebody got the hype of potentially being one and done, and you got to transfer, it can get a little spooky. And then in Indiana, he had a solid start or some stretches, but then it kind of dipped off and dipped. And then he went into the draft, and I've always liked this game, especially with the upside of him being able to shoot.
Yeah.
But then he went to the Heat, and I was like, shit, were they playing really? And then he did his thing in the summer league, and then he wasn't playing this year. So I'm like, damn. But he was ready, man. His number got called, and he was ready. So
Didn't he make the
that's
Rookie
really
of the
good to
Year
see.
argument?
He's the favorite right now. He's the betting favorite to win Rookie of the Year today.
He do got a lot of basketball left. If
He
he
do.
continues the way
And
he's
no, it
playing.
wasn't like nobody was jumping off the page.
Yeah.
So he's got 41 games to just be a starter and put up really good numbers, and he can legitimately.
That's
win
actually.
it.
Would this be the first time we saw somebody go from getting DMPs to winning Rookie of the Year?
I don't know. Jerry McCain was doing something
Literally.
similar just
Literally.
2 months
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
He earned Rookie of the Year in like a week.
Oh yeah, because everybody got hurt, and he just came out and just started
Start
spazzing.
hooping.
What about when Dario Saric won it? He may have not been getting DMPs, but he kind of
I
shot
don't
up
remember
out the
his.
gate. That was like, or did he even win it?
I think Malcolm
That's
Brogdon won it that year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Malcolm
Brogdon won.
Brogdon.
Brogdon
It was him, Dario, and Embiid, but Embiid didn't have the games played, so
Yes.
he didn't end up getting it.
I wonder how that was. That was shout out to Brogdon.
Yeah.
But Kel'el Ware, man, a guy who biggest concern or weakness was motor,
And
and
you're seeing it right here.
can't tell in the NBA so
And
far.
maybe those are one of the reasons why he didn't play early on. You got to earn these minutes, man. You got to show me on the court. You got to show me in these practices that you got that. Because we did our mock NBA draft. Y'all remember that episode where we
Yeah.
went down the line and I took Kel'el Ware with the Bulls and I said like shooting upside. Will he be able to come in and give that energy? Does he care enough? Seemed like Spo got him care enough, or maybe he himself. Like, damn, I'm used to playing every single game, and now I'm getting DNPs. I got to change my mind.
I ain't mad at Modest, but I definitely wanted him to be a Bull.
Yeah.
I was working on that Bull series, and I'm like,
That would have been
we
really
want
fun.
Kel'el
But
Ware. Then I'm like,
who
this ain't
knows?
working out in real life.
Billy Donovan don't play rookies either way, so he might have been in the same situation with Spo
Yeah.
for no reason.
I mean, I understand the rookie got to earn their minutes thing. Unless you like the guy. Like, I understand that. I think Jaime Jaquez did a great job, though, because he was a 4-year guy. He came in, he was ready. So, like, I think he was guaranteed to play.
I understand it too, but sometimes I don't understand the logic with how coaches decide what's earning minutes.
Yeah.
Like when we talked about when we used to play in high school, and it's like, this is how you earn your minutes. And it's 59 seconds, and you either up 20 or down 20. And I used to come out the game, and I'll hear my coach say that to one of my teammates. And I'm like, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's some
Bro,
bullshit.
that is some bullshit.
Matt can't earn minutes in a game where we getting blown out, and he got to come in the last minute and 15 seconds and earn his minutes. How is he earning his minutes?
And you know what's the worst, too? Because, like, the other person that's clocking in for them garbage time minutes, he trying to get his shot off.
Yeah.
So that's already about a possession
It's
gone
either
right
two
there.
things. You got a player in that last lineup who trying to get his shit off, and then you got 4 guys who just going through the motions. So you can't get better or you can't earn minutes if you got guys that's out there knowing, like, man, I'm just out here to get this last minute over with.
Peyton Pritchard made the most out of it.
He did.
I mean, he got more than a minute, though. They was blowing motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
So he had 3 minutes to just hoop. A lot of times you check in and it's just dribble the ball out.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm watching, like, I'll watch a dude come at the score table. I'm like, this shit is crazy to me.
That's what happened in my brother game yesterday. EJ and them lost. And they put in the guys at the end. I'm like, no, make EJ and them sit out there for that last minute. They should have won.
It definitely blows my mind when I check, like, box scores. Sometimes let's say somebody played the last 20, 30 seconds of the game.
Joe Ingles checked in, like, a few games ago just to throw in an inbound
Yeah,
pass
he
on the
did.
sideline.
But I think he played like 4 or 5 minutes that game. Oh, no, you talking about the game before
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The game before that, he checked in and actually played. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
No, yeah, he had a possession where he just checked in to throw in a
Did he
slob.
turn it
and-
over?
I think so. I don't remember. But I know his ass checked right back out immediately.
Shout out to Jingling Joe, man. Left hand shooters. Do y'all want to talk about all-star starters?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
NBA all-star starters had, I would say, not any real surprises, but we'll
No.
talk about it nonetheless. So the Eastern Conference, again, it's not East versus West, but these are the people that are going to be starting. Giannis, Tatum, Towns, Mitchell, Brunson. And out West, we got Bron, KD, Jokic, Shea, and Steph Curry.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much the way it was going to be. There was really no gripes. No one really surprised me.
It wasn't like when Wiggins' name got called a few years
No.
back.
That was wild.
I felt like this year was just no way there was going to be any surprises. It just didn't feel like it.
I think the surprises will come with the reserves because
For
we're
sure.
objectively going to get a couple people snubbed because there are too many great players in basketball. But yeah, the starters are just the starters. I still don't know how it's going to work though. Who's on that third team and who's starting there?
That's my main question. What is it? I have no idea. But I also think we got to start realizing that what you just said, there's just so many great players that, like, every time we do an all-star, we don't have to talk about snub. Like, you just didn't get snubbed. You just didn't make it.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be a thirst. Like, I was even seeing posts on social media like, man, who got snubbed from the start? Nobody got snubbed.
Yep.
Who would you take out?
That's
LaMelo Ball,
the
I love,
question
but who am I
right there.
taking
Is
out?
who you gonna take out most of the time, and they don't be having on, or it be somebody, I guess, like on the fence, maybe.
Yeah. So it ain't really like they did a good job. These are our starters. There's not really an issue. We don't have to force an issue every time a list comes out.
And Steph, KD, Bron are always going to be there.
Pretty much.
Till they retire, basically.
Yeah.
And that's only because Luka not there.
So it's
Yeah.
like, what are we?
Luka
Damn.
would've
So you
definitely-
saying Steph a reserve?
He was last year.
Yeah,
wasn't
he was last year.
Oh, was Shea the reserve last year?
No, Steph was.
Well,
a
Steph
reserve.
Curry definitely wasn't going to be a reserve in San Francisco and
Yeah,
Chase
it's
Center.
true.
He wasn't going to be in a reserve for that.
It ain't gonna be better than when Kemba Walker was that starter in Charlotte, boy.
That was our first All Star too, man.
Right.
I love that All Star just for that reason. We had so much fun.
A great time.
That was a really good time.
Shout out to him for actually getting that moment, though.
I think he started and he barely played the rest of the season.
I think it's so
No,
weird.
no. That's the one that was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
Chicago,
Kemba?
he played like the whole All-Star game.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was,
still
when,
played.
that was when he walked past us in that nice green jacket.
Yeah,
And you said,
Balenciaga.
nice jacket.
Yeah, I be getting that confused.
said,
For
thank
I get that confused when we went to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then you said,
Hey, Nick Nurse.
Hey, Nick Nurse.
hey, Nick Nurse. I wanted to slap the shit at you.
What you got to
Nick
do is
Nurse.
next time you see him, you got to do it
I
now.
bet it's going to
It's
lock
gonna
something
ring
in
a
his
bell.
mind.
You be like, oh, I remember you.
The reason I said I wanted to slap him is because how Nick Nurse looked at your ass.
He looked back and laughed like he
should
smiled.
this guy even be here right
Hey,
now?
what the hell?
He's like, am I in a TV show?
He looked back like shocked, like, hey? Like, hey? I know he was thinking it was a kid. He looked back and he had to look up at
Y'all
your
the
ass.
same height.
Yeah, like, what the hell? This big boxing out motherfucker. Biz Night Beyond, bro, what you doing back here? Hey, Nick Nurse, man. Hey, Nick Nurse with that deep-ass voice.
I don't even know what happened.
He blacked out.
He blacked
He
out.
He blacked out.
And it was Nick Nurse.
For Nick Nurse, he blacked out.
Because you know who came right after him, right?
Who?
Giannis.
Oh, yeah, Giannis and his Nike
So
Tech.
I started sweating. Come on, Darrick finna do some shit.
It was just Nick Nurse.
Like he ain't pull out the phone. You know how he be with them phones.
The last all long. What's you got rumor mills because the NBA trade deadline is less than a month away, and
Yep.
we haven't seen a lot. But boy, is everybody talking about what could happen.
So one of the Lakers are always in rumors. They're here. One of the guys they really interested in is Lonzo Ball. He's someone that they are monitoring his radar for sure. So do y'all think that's a possibility?
I think it's crazy that Anthony Davis sat down with Shams Charania to talk about what they need.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened with AD? No, right? This is his first time he's ever done something like this.
I think so. Thinking back, I don't think he's had nothing like this where he came out literally is like, we need a big or
'Cause
we need
there's
this, we need that.
report-
Well, he said
2 days
he's
before
been
that.
telling them that for the last few years.
But he needs to go public now.
Yeah, I guess so.
There was a report 2 days before that how LeBron and Anthony Davis don't feel like there's been enough push to put the talent around them.
Right,
And,
the day after the Suns made their big trade.
and it's always like, okay, you see the report, you don't think about it. You don't think about a full sit down with 4 camera cuts.
Yeah, I mean, we
Just shooting around Anthony
we made
Davis.
fun
while
of
he
like,
talk.
or we kind of joked around with Anthony Davis for a while now about him always wanting to be a power forward and stuff like that. And they moved him to center, and he looked great at center. But I think they kind of just used that as like, we'll just keep him at center. We don't need to get that big. But till this day, he's still saying he plays best at power forward, and I honestly still don't blame him.
They definitely need more size.
Yeah.
I never looked at it as we're going to go get Vucevic so he could be our starting center. Obviously,
Vucevic is another guy that they're also
Yeah,
trying
I
to
said
trade
that.
for, yeah.
I don't know if like I looked at him as the starting center and Anthony Davis is the 4. I know it would be moments they would play together, but that sit down made me feel like Anthony Davis literally wants to be introduced as at power forward.
Yeah.
It's Anthony Davis.
I mean, he brought up, he was like, man, we won that championship with Dwight and JaVale. And, I mean, they're not the same center as Vucevic, but, like, I think it's so much benefit for him, I think, not having to be the main rim protector, or just person just trying to contest a shot and being in the paint. Because once somebody breaks down, and you know the defenders, we don't have the best defenders. Like, once somebody breaks down, it's on him to go block the shot, and he can't box out, and he can't do this. He can't. I think having another big allows him to be more of a roamer rim protector, be able to switch out on the perimeter, which they like
what
to do.
does it leave for Vucevic?
I think honestly,
What does Vucevic do on defense if Anthony Davis is playing these roles? Because if Anthony Davis is being a roamer, number one, I don't know how much you can do that against every team, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Vucevic is then guarding the big, they're going to attack him in a pick and roll. So it's like,
That's why it's a
I-
little tough.
yeah.
Like, obviously, they're different variations. Like, JaVale and Dwight, they were just different players than Vooch. Vooch is
For
not
sure.
even the same.
he'll give you a lot offensively, though.
He will. But, like, even in because I talk about Rome, like, Giannis roams with Brook Lopez.
Exactly.
Vucevic ain't no Brook Lopez.
Exactly.
So I think there's the downfall there. But I just having a big to box out and I think rebound on possession where Anthony Davis is doing something else on defense, I think it helped the team a lot.
I think it would just be a predicate to how good of a coach J.J. Redick is. Like, can he scheme up how to not let Vucevic get exposed in the pick and roll?
I don't know if maybe he can, but I'm just thinking about as watching Vucevic for the last 4 years at this point, and how he guards pick and roll. I can't say that Billy Donovan is doing anything wrong schematically. I just think Vucevic is not good at that particular thing.
And
Yeah.
that's
And this even predates before he was a Bull. So we
Yeah.
could think about the entire
the
career.
hardest position to hide.
Yeah.
A center?
Yeah.
You can't you can tell Steph Curry go over here or a guard to go over there, but a center, I mean, it's just very hard to do. As a Knicks fan, that was one of the things I talked about early in the season where we got two of our best players are guys that the other opposing team are trying to attack. And they play 2 positions that Jalen Brunson, sure, you can try to hide him, but I mean, teams know how to expose those type of things. And then Karl Anthony Towns, the position he plays, you can't hide a 7-foot center. It's just you can't. And I mean, credit to the Timberwolves because they did a good job by going to get Rudy, but you had the shortcomings. We can't go get a Rudy Gobert off the street. So and then the Knicks also have this high-powered offense where you have to sacrifice some of that.
Do y'all feel like you owe it to AD to make that dream a reality? Like
You
even
do.
if it means it's
I
not
think so,
Vucevic,
yeah.
it's a lesser
Valanciunas.
center. It's Valanciunas. It's Robert Williams if he can ever stay completely healthy because he looked damn good the other night.
Yeah, he did.
Do you feel like that's the case?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
do.
as much as obviously LeBron is different scale, but like Anthony Davis has been there literally right alongside Bron, and he hasn't really gotten like I think the things he's asked for. This is probably the biggest thing he's asked for is literally a big man.
He's also a guy that you have to consider because when you talk about post LeBron, he may still potentially be there. I don't know what they're going to want to do. Maybe
Sure.
they want to trade him, but there is a chance where you're now entering the Anthony Davis as the face, and you want to make sure that you've done right by him so that you don't have a situation where the minute LeBron leaves, Rich Paul and Clutch are saying, yeah, we want Anthony Davis to be traded.
I also, it always comes back on what you're giving up because I think at this point too, it can either go two ways. I can't really see the Lakers dropping off if they made this trade. Like if anything, they kind of hover around the same. But if it does unlock a new version or just even a different level of Anthony Davis again, I think it would be worth the trade.
I really want to know how JJ Redick feels. Does
Yeah.
he want Anthony Davis as a center or power forward or whatnot? I know he's going to do whatever as a coach. He's going to adapt, but what would he want personally?
I
wonder-
will say it's crazy that they have this weird attachment to Rui Hachimura. They are like making it known that he is not tradable.
I
For
think
him
he's
just
not
to be a
tradable.
fine NBA player?
I think
Yeah,
he's
which
not
is so
tradable
crazy.
for anything, but I think for the right deal, he's definitely movable. That's the sentiment I've
Yeah.
gotten from them.
To get
Where-
back to your original one, though, Derek, you talk about Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
The fit there, I guess, makes sense. I mean, he's a connector, plays in space, shoots the ball occasionally,
I was
winning
talking-
player at the end of the day.
Hey, if they could walk out with Lonzo and Vooch, they'll probably be happy.
We was talking about
It
it
would
on my
cost him a
stream,
Rui, though.
and they was talking about like the value of Lonzo or whatever, and we damn sure ain't no first round pick.
sure.
But I was saying at this point, Bulls fans probably just want something. Bring anything in at this point.
As a Laker fan, would you be happy if you walked out with Lonzo and Vooch at the trade deadline?
Better than what they got now.
Yeah, I mean that's
If
honestly
it cost you Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, I mean, Rui is a good player. I just don't think it's gonna be hard for him to find like a really good fit for him. I think the way he plays, just because he's not a main scorer, but he's a guy that likes to really get into his spots and get the mid range and do all that. A lot of teams just looking for straight up 3 and D or like something to like catch and shoot. So I'm okay with moving on from Rui. I do wish him luck though. He is a fun player to watch.
He can be here.
Next thing we got is that Bradley Beal's agent apparently said that there's no truth to reports that Beal is willing to waive his no trade clause for teams like the Bucks, Heat, Lakers, or Nuggets.
I'm just so
That
tired
blows
of
my
it.
mind.
There is a GM or assistant GM reportedly saying that the whole Jimmy Butler thing is holding up the other trades. Not saying that every team is interested in Jimmy, but because there might have to be 5 to 6 teams
Yep.
involved, nobody else is picking up the phone. They're just trying to figure out what the hell to do with Jimmy. And Bradley Beal still, at all of that, has all of the power in the world. 'Cause he's like, nah, I don't want to go to the Bulls. I don't want to go to the Bucks. I don't want to go to this team or that team.
To me, it's like attention seeking a little bit to me, because again, I go back to my main point. Bradley Beal's agent can say all of this, but y'all will have to show and prove to me and the rest of the basketball world that this 5 or 6 team trade is about to happen, but y'all gonna hold it up and stay somewhere that doesn't want you.
Literally.
It's just hard for me to believe it. I know it's a respect thing. You probably want the Suns to approach you and keep you in a loop on everything. And so you're going to say, they ain't said nothing to us yet. But whether they do or they don't, knowing that they don't want you there, and knowing that they feel like, man, they are doing shit that we haven't seen to get Jimmy Butler. They don't want you that bad. They told you to come off the bench. You rather to do that than to not go somewhere, just different. At this point, I would just want to go somewhere different.
I literally
Just don't send me to Utah or a team that is like literally just not on nothing. Don't send me nowhere to die as a career player.
That's
You know what I
the
mean?
thing, though, Pete, because what team that is competitive, not even talking about championship level team,
Yeah.
can afford to bring in that contract for the next 2 years.
Well,
But
I saw
I-
the Bucks were attached
but
to
I-
it.
But
They
Chris
don't
Hayes
want him.
said that they don't want him.
But I'm just saying, if I am Bradley Beal at this point in my career, and I can go to Utah, Charlotte, or Chicago, I'm taking my ass to Chicago.
sure.
Even though Chicago ain't finna win shit, I'll go with Billy Donovan. It's a nice place to live at the least. It's
But
still,
even
you
that
know,
one don't even make sense.
all
of the mocks that the Bulls trading Zach LaVine is for what?
to clear that money.
To clear the money.
yeah.
And we're trying to trade for somebody that's making $6 more million and an extra year on it. That shit does not make sense to me. Even if it does, we get 2 of those picks that they just acquired. Both of those picks are like the 27th, 28th overall pick. I would rather just keep Zach, who's been here for 9 years now, than to get the 27th. Yes. I would legitimately keep Zach LaVine around than get the 27th overall pick in 2
them
drafts.
picks. I want them picks. Even if they 27, I want them picks.
Because you never know what they could turn into.
I want them picks.
I would just keep Zach, man.
Or you just flip the picks.
Well, yeah, or you can flip the picks.
I want the picks. I want something. I don't want to just keep the Zach LaVine just to keep him. We talked about trading him for this long, and yeah, we effed it up by not doing this sooner. And if all we can get is some picks, then let's get some picks, man.
I think it goes back to like the conversation we had like a month or so ago about the way we consume the sport. At the end of the day, Zach LaVine is a fun-ass player to watch and a fun-ass player to root for. So I'm completely okay with not adding that a worse contract in Bradley Beal to just keep the cool guy that's fun to watch on the team. Just going back to the roots of my fandom. What player will be more fun to watch on a night-to-night basis? What player has been true to Chicago since he's been here and publicly has said, not even just publicly, but Jake Fisher just had in his report that Zach LaVine is hoping to stay on the Bulls. Like that when February 6th comes around, he is praying that he is still on the Bulls. I would rather that. He came into the first meeting of the season. He say, I am a Bull as long as this is across my chest and I'm going to put everything on the table
So why
for
trade
Chicago.
anybody? Why trade Vooch or anybody? Why y'all just don't keep this team?
Why trade?
And-
Vooch is not the same category as Zach LaVine.
But if you want to keep Zach LaVine, you might as well keep him.
I don't think so.
Because y'all not. My point is y'all not getting what y'all want from with the front office. Well, I don't know what the front office want anymore.
Yeah, you
but
can't
from
even
all
account
y'all
for that.
fans, y'all wanted to suck and get a pick.
I think they've just waited too long.
Yeah, so why not just keep the band together? Why instead of being 11th, why not just be a play-in team? Why not? If you're gonna keep Zach LaVine, you might as well just
The
keep
play-in
Vooch.
is damn near inevitable at this point.
Yeah, so just do y'all thing.
And that's such a shame because this is so bad. The team's so bad that y'all just
Well,
damn
Philly
near
went
have
on a
to make it.
7-game losing streak.
Yeah, they
Because
won against the
Yeah,
Cavs.
they
yesterday.
did.
The,
They win
big
last
win.
the
too.
report I saw was Zach, Vooch, and an extreme case, probably even Kobe White.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
I'm
so-
not saying that
it's so
anybody
far
should
and
stay, but
full.
I'm thinking about that specific outcome where Bradley Beal is on the team versus Zach. I would rather keep Zach.
No, yeah, but
I
I'm
would
saying
prefer
if
that,
you're trading
none of
Vooch,
them are on the team,
if you're
sure.
trading Kobe, then at that point you
I
might
don't
as well
think-
just get Bradley
I think
Beal.
the Kobe trade is like the perfect scenario. I don't think that they're just like he's actively available. They're just saying that hey,
No, yeah,
if you
no,
want
no.
him, talk to me.
Yeah, no,
The other guys feel like we're taking all calls.
Yeah, for sure.
regardless.
But if I am gonna get to that point, then yeah, that's the reality of bringing in a Bradley Beal. If we're gonna fire this thing up, then I might as well just get that, and I'll take my picks and
Yeah,
whatever. Bradley Beal not coming in and changing the direction of the Bulls anyway. So if you let everything go and you just bring on that contract, well, at least we got some first.
Yeah.
Whether they 27th or 21 or 17, it's better than the shit y'all have had.
It's to a
'Cause y'all
point where
need a
the,
couple-
the
y'all need a
Bulls just
couple
need some
shots at y'all
change.
picks.
They just need some change at the end of the day.
Bulls need a few They need a few attempts because they ain't like they just masterfully drafting out here.
No, they haven't hit a draft since Io, and even then it's like, cool. Io's NBA.
Is there a
player.
world where Bradley Beal comes here and just increases his value?
Oh,
No,
my-
no.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the same shit the Portland Trailblazers tried to do with the Dame trade. We're going to trade for Robert Williams because he's a good NBA player. We're going to trade for DeAndre Ayton because they can raise their value. That shit rarely works.
Bradley Beal's contract ends next year.
No, he
because
got
the
2
year.
more years.
2 more years.
So in order for him to raise it, he not even have to raise it. That motherfucker got to average 35 again.
he's not raising his value.
The only
do that.
only way he raises his values is it's the end of the contract and somebody want to get off that damn money.
And it just
He
feels
has
unlikely.
this year and then $111 million he's over. He's not getting on. The value is not going up.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not going to. This is the reality of getting that bag. Where now here we are.
Is
This
it
probably
really
all worth it
weird
too.
that Jimmy Butler's like seeing anybody almost except for the Grizzlies?
I wonder why. What is
Because
wrong with the Grizzlies?
they're not going to extend him. If they trade for him, it's more going to
So
be
all
a
29
rental.
teams can extend him except
Well,
the
they're
Grizzlies?
just the ones that's kind of cemented that this offseason they're going to really rework and try to extend Jaren
Jaren
Jackson.
Yes.
So if you extend Jaren Jackson, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, who else
Yeah.
is on that
They're
team?
gonna have to extend Santi Aldama.
Maybe.
Yeah, and he talked about
Yeah, he
I might not be here because
yeah.
it's the reality.
They're
So
probably gonna lose Jake LaRavia in free agency.
So it just makes sense from their standpoint that, hey, he gives us a shot to win it this year, and if it doesn't work, we still could just extend our guys.
Yeah.
It's
because it's not like
kinda
they're gonna
weird.
miss out on a concrete guy. They're probably gonna put Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart.
It could be the weird scenario where you bring in the best player, but it's also a salary dump.
yeah.
And that's so intriguing to me. And if I'm the Grizzlies, I kind of don't give a fuck if Jimmy Butler wants to be here or not right now.
Yeah.
Because what is he gonna do? The same shit with us? And no, who's about to look at a guy that quit or left 3 different organizations and be like, that's the guy we want to give $100 million $2 years.
You also
for.
don't care because he can't do it.
That's what I'm saying. I want him on the team.
Yeah,
I think he makes
with
too
the-
much sense.
He can do it with the Heat right now, but when he gets to you, he's going to have to play but what about this?
What if he opts into that $52 million?
That's the
I just-
dangerous part for them.
Yeah.
Because like, what if he's like, the contracts I'm getting ain't worth $52 million? I can't miss out on this 52 right now. I'm gonna opt in. And I'm gonna just stay here.
I think I mean, I guess you can always put your ear to the ground and hear what people are saying, but the timeline is you accept the extension even before. So I guess they could technically just go to teams even before he accepted the player option. But I guess he would never truly know what type of offers are on the table until after that window is closed.
Yeah.
I would just. This is one of the times where if I'm a general manager, I kind of like fuck it. I know Kawhi Leonard didn't do this exact thing. Kawhi Leonard didn't want to go to Toronto. He spent the rest of that. He went a year there. He dipped. But boy, was it a good call from them.
So if he takes the extension, how does that affect the rest of the roster?
What do you mean?
Because if he takes that
He
second,
opts into the contract.
yeah, because I mean at that point you got one more year left, and then you still have that window with whoever. Most likely still Giles obviously going to be there.
Yeah.
Assume Jaren is still going to be there.
Yeah,
I'm
Desmond.
most
They
likely
gonna
still
find a way
like
to-
they still
they
going to
gonna
have
find a
a
way to
good
pay
at
Jaren.
least starting 5 still. So even at that, you still got a 2-year window at that.
They'll find a way to pay Jaren. I don't think paying Jaren will
Right
go out the
now-
window if he opts into that.
Right now, Ja Morant is making $36 million.
Right.
He's guaranteed 163. It's going up. Next year's 39, year after 42, year after 44. Desmond Bane is making $34 million right now. Next year's 36, then 39, 42, 44. He's owed $197 million. Jaren Jackson has this year and next year. You're not going to let it get to the next year. You're going to extend them so we can comfortably know that we got our 3 guys. Marcus Smart, who will probably be in a trade, is at 20 and 21 for this year and next year. Brandon Clark is owed $37 million. But then you also, again, you have the Santi Aldamas, the Jake LaRavias, and then the Jaren Jackson extension. And then soon after that, you'll be probably looking into a situation where Zach Edey and those guys will be needing extensions shortly after.
So they're really going to
Because Zach
have a
Edey got
starting
this
5.
year, and then next year, and then they're going to have to rework some type of deal. He'll have a team option
Yeah.
after next year. So,
Probably the same with Jalen Wells too, right?
no, because Jalen Wells is a second-round pick.
Oh,
And they already got Scottie Pippen Jr. I think on a multi-year deal.
Jay
Yeah.
Huff.
G.G. Jackson, he's on a lower deal because he had the second-round pick as well. But he got this year and then next year, and then he's on a player option. So it's like, I'm not saying they're going to extend and keep all of these guys, but they got to figure out what they're doing to get as most value, because you don't want to get to the end of the deal and it's like, oh shit,
you don't
G.G.
want
Jackson is in free agency.
You did all this great developing. You don't want to just fumble it.
Yeah.
So you have to capitalize on it.
So I like the idea of getting Jimmy Butler. To me, that was the number 1 team before he ruled them out. Of like fit wise, I like them. I like the Grizzlies. I mean, the Rockets because of what he's about. And I wasn't never mad at Milwaukee. I just felt like a pipe dream.
Yeah, it feel almost impossible, right?
Yeah. And I like Phoenix though. So
Yeah, I mean, a big reason that Windhurst said this deal hasn't really happened is because Miami reportedly is seeking young talent, draft capital, and expiring contracts.
They want everything.
And apparently, they just haven't really got this offer yet.
They're not going to.
And that's why this deal is being held up right now.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not getting all of that. That's literally every option of a thing you can get in there.
Hey, you
So
got to
this is
put
gonna
that, put the fish hook out there, see what you can get.
I mean, I guess so, but the
So the
trade
deadline's
deadline's
on February 6th.
Yeah, February 6th.
So it's going to go all the way to February 6th at 1 o'clock? Isn't 1 o'clock the deadline?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like 1 or 3 or something.
I don't think it's gonna go that far. We are at January 25th. I say I give this next week something happen. Next week we just seen the video last night. Jimmy Butler getting into it with somebody at something that ain't got nothing to do with basketball. Jimmy Butler finna get explosive in a minute. He finna come on, tee it up, and have a sit down and
Get explosive like Dr. Dre.
Explosive.
Next thing we got, let's see. That was pretty much all the main ones that I got. Oh, except for the Milwaukee Bucks are they're shopping Chris Middleton and Bobby Portis. And Pat Connaughton. That was pretty much them trying to get involved in the Jimmy Butler sweepstakes.
Pat
That's the three
Connaughton, you are a
names.
bull.
That's they names. I mean the three names. I
hope they do. I hope they do make a move. I think they owe it to Giannis. Just do something. Just don't.
They
don't
did.
mess
They
it
went
up.
and got Dame.
Yeah, they did. But I still think he deserves more.
Oh,
The more you could give back to Giannis after what he did for you, I don't think you can ever do too much for him.
I agree, but
Especially since he's
the
still
rumor
young.
with those two guys that was in it was Bradley Beal. You don't owe it to him to get Bradley Beal. I feel like you're furthering shooting yourself.
Now
in
Zach
the foot.
LaVine, though.
Yes.
I like Zach LaVine.
Yes.
I really do like Zach LaVine now. If they could somehow make that happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just they don't have any draft capital.
Nothing.
And I don't know. The Bulls probably don't want to come out of another situation with no draft picks.
Hey man, like I keep telling people, copycat league is what they say, right? If I'm the Bucks, if I'm the Lakers, or any of these teams that don't have as much future draft capital, I'm stealing the page out of the Suns.
That's
book.
exactly.
I really
yeah.
think the Suns have started something new where, like, man, all right, if we're going to go all in, it's only if you want to go all in. Some teams are going to be like, you know what, enough is enough. We're going to keep our 2 picks, and we're going to reestablish ourselves. But
That's
I
why
would
I
give
think
up a
this-
pick in
yeah.
2031 to get 3 or 4 more back.
That's why I don't think it's a coincidence that the day after they did that, that's when LeBron and AD started. They saw that and was like, oh, there's a way to get more draft picks. But y'all just sitting on y'all's, and we could do something that could really help improve this roster. I don't think that was just coincidental.
Because if I'm saying Presti, I'm all ears. What y'all need? I'll give
Bro,
up
yeah.
3 or 4 picks
'Cause
because I
I'll
got
give up-
15, and I'll get an extreme quality over quantity.
I'm trying to get a top 5 pick over here, baby.
Yeah. I admire Matt Ishbia not giving a fuck about the future. Every team runs the same way. Value the draft capital. Don't get no bad the Suns are just saying, I don't care, bro. We're gonna do everything in our power to be good. And it's probably not gonna work.
Yeah.
But nobody cares.
I think that's
and that's
tried.
so cool to me.
That's the other side of like a lot of these older players just aging gracefully and all that. Just like you're gonna have to keep building around them, and that's probably getting rid of some of your future, even if you know like that window's so small.
yeah. It's so cool to see.
Because
them
how would
trade
you
that
look
much.
if the Suns didn't do anything? Like, and they just kind of accepted their fate. Like, we already know we have a chance to make the playoffs. We have a chance to make some noise, but we're not that team though. So we just kind of sit on our hands and not waste our future.
I mean,
like,
that's worse than doing anything. Sitting on your hands with a 36-year-old Kevin Durant
yeah.
is just the worst thing you can do. I agree with KB. I've always said, as a fan, you're not always going to win the championship, but if my team is doing all that they can, I can walk away saying, hey, they tried, man. That was they tried. Now, the other thing is how fans think now, which I seen KP on the timeline last week talking about NBA fans are too smart.
Yeah, I made
so
a little video about this.
You'll have a Suns fan talking about, what are we doing?
And I understand. Look, both perspectives are very fair. Especially, I mean, you got no picks at 2032. It's crazy.
But it's worth it if you get that one championship, then that's what it is.
Oh, for sure. But the likelihood of that, again, knowing what we know about that Suns roster.
Yeah, it's just
There's
If
no
they
big
get
day
Jimmy
to win
Butler,
the
I'm looking at them different. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at them different. They get Jimmy Butler.
especially since they like the 10th seed.
I'm looking at them different. Am I saying they're the championship favorite? No, but they are a lot different of a team with Jimmy Butler instead of Bradley Beal.
Oh, for sure.
They might win a game or two in the playoffs instead of 0.
I don't know.
No,
They go
KD
win a
getting them
series with
one.
Jimmy Butler. I've seen Jimmy Butler do some crazy
If
shit.
they were to get in, let's say right now, they would play OKC in the first round. Let's hypothetically put Jimmy on the team.
Mhm.
I'm still picking OKC.
I am too.
Hey,
Assuming health.
I love the
assuming health
fact
of
that
the
there's
bigs,
gonna be people that say, "Nah, they got KD still."
for sure. And
I love
You're not wrong
that
for
there's still
taking
a fact.
OKC, but the point is, once they get them, they have them. So this year ain't it for them. This year is easy to say you're not taking the Suns, cool. But then he'll be there next year, and they'll have a full year of doing what they do, and then that's when it really starts.
you also just got to hope that what we're seeing or what we have seen from Jimmy Butler the last 2 years is not like full regression, because he doesn't look as good as he did in 2022.
Yeah. That's why I kind of like the Suns, though, because I don't think he has to be. Because you have Kevin, like those Heat team, it was Gabe Vincent and Bam, and, you know, this is Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. And I think he's a much better all-around basketball player than Bradley Beal. So you ain't like you just need him to spot up.
Yeah.
That all the rumors?
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what else we got?
Today we're going to be getting into things we need to be discussed across the league that need to be picked up on more and need to be talked about more. One thing I want to bring up, and we did talk about it a little bit earlier with Russell Westbrook. I wanted to ask y'all, is anybody kind of concerned for this Nuggets team and Russell Westbrook when it comes to the playoffs? He's been having such a great year for them, and he's been so well for them. We do know in the time when the playoffs come that usually people, they're off shooters. He's probably going to be that guy. Like, are any of y'all kind of worried about that?
A little bit, but I'm not thinking about it too much right now. I'm kind of
Yeah.
enjoying the show. Because last year's playoffs was the worst playoff performance he has ever had, like by far. He shot 20% from the field. He averaged single amount of points. You have never seen Russell Westbrook look that bad in a full series before. But when I look at it, it wasn't necessarily about his production in the playoffs. It was about the way he was guarded, right? How the other team pretty much ignored him no matter where he was on the court.
Yeah.
If they had him spotting up in the corner, which he did a lot of, which is just the wrong thing to do with Russell Westbrook, they left him open. When he was a baseline dunker, they really didn't care that Russ was on the court at all. That scares me a little bit because in these 7-game series, teams would do that. But now he's playing with Jokic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got Mike Malone. And for whatever you want to say about Mike Malone, I feel like he would have an idea of how to utilize Russ a little bit better in the playoffs. And Jokic being the best basketball mind that we have, I think that he will also try to maximize Russ a little bit in the postseason. So as I'm watching him, because one of my things is that since the start of the calendar year, the Denver Nuggets have been the best team in basketball. But in the back of my mind, I still do think like, middle of February when that playoffs start, I am curious of how Russell Westbrook impacts winning there.
It's like April,
Hey, what did I say?
middle of February.
Damn. Middle of February is All-Star. My fault.
Yeah, I was looking at some of his like shooting number. Like anywhere that's not the corner three, he's shooting terrible. But like that corner three, he's shooting at like I think even above 40%. So it's like that's his spot, but it's a different monster when it's like teams are just leaving you. But Russell, he's not new to this. He's not new to
I
this.
feel like personally, he just does a great job, at least with the Nuggets, of utilizing that space to cut and slash and either like make plays for other people. So like I think they do a good job of utilizing him, even if teams aren't guarding him. So like he's no longer just a stationary shooter. So like if you are moving, that's creating spacing. So like as long as they don't get stagnant, I think it'll work out.
For me, man, I'm not worried because I feel like it would be unfair to Russ. I feel like everybody that's a role player around these guys, you got to be concerned about. KCP, when he was there, could have a 26% three-point stretch in the series. That's just the reality of your role players. If I'm concerned about Russ, and I'm concerned about, I can make a concern about everybody, really. It's about...
Yeah, we was talking to my stream kind of like about the same thing. We was talking about players who just kind of like are going to be expected to shoot in the playoffs and how they kind of might fall. Lou Dort is going to have to probably shoot his ass off
Exactly.
in these playoffs. And he's one of the players that could go 0 for 6. He could go 4 for 7. Like, it's a really by-game type thing. But
Luckily for him, the other thing he provides, the most
they're
important
not
thing,
taking that off unless they literally take him off the court like last game.
But that's what I like from...
He took himself off the
Yeah,
court.
he took himself off the court. But that's one thing that you do like about Russ is some of these other role players, it's like if they're not making shots, then they're done. Russ is a guy that historically is still finding a way to be impactful and giving you a certain amount of effort and focus on the floor. So a lot of role players, their presence and their with their adding or bringing to the game is shot dependent. There's a lot of players that are like that. If they're not making shots, that their head is just not in the game at all. Russell Westbrook has never been one of those guys. He can have a game where he's 1 of 5 from those corner threes, but he goes and get 4 offensive rebounds that are extremely important for y'all to win. So,
Yeah, he's playing with his confidence level is at like an all-time high. You could tell that he visibly
so?
looks confident on the court.
I feel like this motherfucker looked like this for so long. Like, I don't think he's ever lost any confidence no matter his stuff.
that Laker run.
Yeah,
did not look good,
he did
man.
not look confident in that Laker run.
That Laker run was terrible.
He looked like he just didn't know.
Now,
y'all right.
I think it's
Every other
hyperbole to
stop,
say as confident as ever. It's hyperbole.
Well, yeah,
because-
obviously his MVP season.
But in comparison to what we've seen, that it was even if you don't want to call it confidence, there was something that wasn't Russell Westbrook.
He lacked his joy a little bit.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time
he
you put a
did.
mic in
Yes,
front of him now,
yes,
he just
yes.
he said
I mean,
he
he was
appreciates
facing
playing
so
with the
much-
best in the world and all of that.
He wasn't the best player on the team, but I swear he was facing so much pressure and
For
just
real.
like how he's performing.
I think that's just a product of going to LA.
And not even just that,
That-
it's for
we-
what they did
yeah.
right before he got there and what
Yeah.
they gave up to get him.
because he was supposed to come in and we were supposed to turn it around and look
Expectations,
back like
And
a
I just think
championship
you shouldn't
team.
even put that expectation on a player. That's the front office.
At that time, though, Russell Westbrook was still kind of
Yeah, no.
Russell Westbrook.
No, he
What
came
was
up
right before
averaging
that?
triple
It was
double.
Washington,
It was,
right?
it
He
was
came up
Washington.
averaging
And
triple-double
that's
in
when we was
Washington, so,
me. I remember me and D Mills. We were advocating for Russell Westbrook when he was playing with Washington.
We all gave them an A that offseason. The Lakers we all gave them an A after the Russell Westbrook trade.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like almost consensus that Russell Westbrook just talent. At the end of the day, the Lakers got way more talent in the locker room, man. Russell Westbrook just did this last season, and remember when he did this? Now revisionist history, that look awful, but at the time, most people, majority
I
of people
thought they
looked
was
at that
going
and
to
was
be
like,
bought in.
that was it. And
I
it
thought they
wasn't.
was going to be bought in. I thought when that trade got signed off of, that mean everybody knew what it was and it was going to be a commitment. And I'm seeing LeBron with the ball and Russ in the corner, and I'm like, oh, shit, never mind. Never mind. One of the things I think that has to get talked about a lot, I was a big advocate over the entire offseason of this draft class. And I said 1,000 times, this draft class probably won't give you the Wemby, probably won't give you the Paolo Banchero, but weak is not the word you can use because I feel like the NBA is a big product of role players. Role players are becoming some of the most important things we've seen. We've seen the best players not have certain supporting casts, and it don't matter. Like their greatness is limited when they don't have the certain things around them. And I felt that this draft class is going to offer, again, maybe not some superstars, but there are going to be high quality role players that could impact teams in winning ways. And when I look at just a overall view so far, there's a lot of names on here who have shown us some flashes and shown us some good stretches of basketball, whether that's Jalen Wells, whether that's a Tristan Da Silva, Stephon Castle, you got the Alex Stars of the worlds. We saw some stretches from Zachary Richardson, A.J. Mitchell with the Thunder, Donovan Clingan, Zach Edey, Kel'el Ware. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of guys. Jared McCain with the stretch he had. Rob Dillingham has been playing as of late. Again, all of the talk about how disgustingly bad or trash this draft class is going to be, we've seen some moments from a lot of these different rookies. And I think it needs to be talked about so that we can start to change and shift our perspective and understanding that are some classes going to be as strong as others? No, that's the history of the game. That's always existed. But every draft class has a certain amount of value if you know and accept what's there and how to identify it. That's why, to me, it's no mistake that we can have a quote-unquote weak draft and, oh, man, the first pick would be just Lou Dort. I remember those conversations. But it's no mistake that the Thunder walked away with a guy like A.J. Mitchell, Nikola Topic. Like the teams that know what they have and know what they're doing, they find a way to execute. And I just don't think that it's by mistake. I think that even the Magic have kind of found a way to figure out who are some impactful players. And, I think this draft class deserves a little bit more attention and respect than how much it got dragged. I feel like they dragged this draft class through the mud. It got to a point where I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget, this is a life-changing moment for some of these young men who about to go to the NBA and fulfill their dream. Like, I get it. Y'all don't like the draft, but they was adding sauce to the shit. Like, man.
How many players from the 2025 draft you think go one if he was in 2024? Obviously, the top three dudes are going to one. Whether it's going to be Flagg, it's going to be Bailey, it's going to be Harper. This Yaka Jonas go number one in the 2024 draft? I feel like he probably does.
Yeah.
Jaeger Demon, probably not, but maybe.
No.
Him versus Zachary Richardson. I'm sure you can have that conversation, and you probably will have
at the
some
beginning
people.
of the year, yeah. But when BYU has played legitimate competition,
He can't score. Yeah, he's
him
like
and the entire
he's like
team
Josh Giddey.
has looked significantly different. I get a top three guys.
I feel like Yaka. I can't pronounce it all of a sudden. I think he
I
would
haven't
go
been able
number
to
one
pronounce
too.
Yeah.
Kasparis, I'll give you him. I'll give you him. But what he's doing, some of the guys they was playing this kind of way in college as well too. Go back and look at the year Reed Sheppard had. I think Reed Sheppard ended the year as a 50% 3-point shooter. He's like 50-50 something. And he had the steal percentage and the block percentage and all the shit that they like. That's why he went ultimately number 3. I just felt like it was a weird draft, and it got kind of shifted all over the place. But I'm not saying no to that though. I'm not. That's not me saying no.
I just think
it's a good question though.
I just think it's valuable that we can look around the league and say a lot of these guys are going to stick.
Where does Darrick Queen go?
He might be a top 5 pick last
Oh,
year.
he might be a top 5 pick in this year.
I hope not.
But
I agree with you though.
you say you hope
I
not?
hope not.
Who in this class is just like you got the top 3, but like at 4 and 5? I mean, I just don't see.
It's situational, right? Yeah, who has the
I
pick?
don't see nobody that's just like Kaspars has nights where I'm like, okay. The hell, like everybody just has showed flashes to me. I don't really. I keep trying to think who can be like 4 to 7, and it's just all over the
I
place.
think every mock is gonna look so different once it's around that time.
Me, I'm at the point where it's like, man, if I'm at 4,
I feel like 4 for sure is gonna be Yakashonis.
if I'm
I think
at
people
4,
have talked themselves into that.
and I'm not driven into that, I would even think about taking Jeremiah Fears. I'll take my swing because it's just like, what else am I doing? At like 4 or 5, I would do it. VJ Edgecombe, Jeremiah Fears, I may just swing for the fence. Give me Fears, depending on my guard situation, but that's just me. What were you saying, though? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying it's great that we can look around the league and look at this draft class and say a lot of these dudes are going to stick. Like they've all kind of already niched themselves in, and especially like a lot of the top guys, at least they've really like locked themselves in, like what's their role, and they kind of bought into it. Nobody's really like being like quote unquote the star.
I feel it's the now I want to say opposite, but I feel like a lot of the top guys are the ones that we're still figuring out. Like the guys that I named, like Jalen Wells is not a top guy.
I like when you guys
wasn't a
said
top
like
guy.
Tristan Da Silva.
It wasn't a top guy.
And
I'm still trying to figure out
Zachary
the Reed
Reese.
Shepherds.
Oh, he was the number
Yeah.
1 pick, but he's really just been like I feel like he's fitting in with the Hawks.
With the
team. I
Hawks,
can
yeah.
see him with the Hawks
For
team.
sure.
And that's why I said I like how like these guys can stick, because some of these guys check into the game, and if you weren't really in tune like that, you might not even think they're a rookie. They've been playing just well into their roles, and they've been
Like
fitting
Reed
onto the
Shepard doesn't
team.
really play that much.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So
we
that's
don't
why
even
you
know how
said
to
the
really
top,
gauge them. Yeah.
Yeah, the top guys. I'm still trying to. Even my boy with the Hornets.
He stinks.
For real, like
I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going on there.
Not saying he can't be good one day, but
Yeah,
he played. He played
absolutely
in the
not.
G League and has single digits.
Uh,
What NBA player goes to the G League and can't? Bronny just put
Bronny
up
just
fucking
put up
30 of them
30.
things and dunked on somebody.
Bronny had a
Bronny
lot of
doing-
time to do it though. Bronny's first G League games was 9 points and 7 points and shit
Yeah.
too.
Okay, good point. Good
Bronny
point.
is
Good point.
Bronny,
shout out to them for actually letting him travel with the team now.
Bare minimum. Shout out to them for letting him hop on the
Because
on a
I
plane.
never understood him only playing. How you gonna get a rhythm only playing home games?
I feel like they got crucified on social media. They was like, they probably
Eves
right.
Missy, I didn't name. Eves Missy.
Yeah.
Keyshawn George, Oso Iguodaro, Isaiah Collier has had some moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just got to give some guys some time. But I feel like Pele Larson with the Heat. There's some guys.
That's so. A lot of these dudes have like really shined in their moments.
Yeah, but let Devin Carter, who came back from his injury, had some
Yes.
moments with the Kings. But hey, you let Twitter and the social talking heads talk it, and this is the worst draft class in the existence of the NBA. And it's like, even if it is from a talent perspective, there's value there.
What if this is the league? What if this is the draft class has the highest percentage of players that like stay in the league?
That would be a good flex for them.
Yeah.
It would be tough. for
Would you
them to do
rather
that,
have
though.
a draft class where you got, let's just say you have 15 10-year plus guys, or you have a draft class with,
2 All NBA players.
yeah, what would you rather have? What would y'all rather have?
I would rather have a draft class with the higher percentage of players that stayed in the league.
So
I'd rather have the two all NBA.
The all
We
NBA
always
guys?
got next year to get the next draft class in.
so the other worst draft of all time, people compare it to 2000.
This is Kenyon Martin.
Yes. 2000 had 15 players that had 10-plus year careers. Even that's a good shot. I mean, you had like 4 people that were 9, and like Stromile Swift and Ethan Thomas and Mark Matson and Jason Hart.
Shout out to Jason Hart. Real good backup point
But
guard.
even all of these like 10-plus years guys, golly, it's bad, bro. Shout out to Jamal Crawford, man. 20-year career. 20-year career.
Hey, he made it work.
What a guy.
One of my things.
I got to see real quick. You got that draft class in front of you.
Yes, I do.
what are the ages of some of those guys? Because I think that's one of the biggest differences too. This last draft, it had older guys, but you also had young guys. Like Kenyon Martin was a 4-year player, or 3 or 4 year player at Cincinnati, so he wasn't an 18.
He's 23 years old coming in.
He's 23 as a rookie.
Jermel Swift is
number
21.
1 overall pick.
Darius Miles is 19 coming in. He's the youngest in the top 5. And then you got like Marcus Fizer's 22. Mike Miller is 20. DeMar Johnson comes in at 20. Chris Mims, I forgot he was a 7th overall pick. He's
To the Cavs,
21. Right? Drafted technically to Chicago. Yeah. And then traded with the Jamal Crawford trades. They swapped there.
I just pulled it up. Keon Dooling. Keon Dooling wasn't no young guy. He couldn't have been. Yeah, he came in at 20. So it's a whole different time, man. Kenyon Martin at 23 is not the first overall pick in 2024.
That's such a crazy thing.
In the beginning of the 20s, they had some high school players go, just taking a swing. Deshaun Stevenson, this guy who
shout out to Sean,
came from overseas for the Bulls, and then you got Jake Sock-Alitis. Y'all remember him?
I don't see. What pick was he?
Pick number 25.
Oh, I don't remember him at all. I remember
Michael Redd at 43.
Damn.
Eddie House in the second round.
House.
They had some good second round. Brian Cardinal was a second round pick. Jabari Smith Jr.'s dad is right here.
Yep.
But yeah, like it's just crazy how the game has shifted.
The
only guy that I know off the top of my brain that was one and done was Jamal Crawford.
Bro, you still looking at that draft?
Yeah.
52nd overall pick. Do you see what college he went to? Then the 54th overall pick?
Yeah, what the hell?
They had 2 dudes drafted at a community college.
Wow.
The same community college.
This community college had to go fucking
crazy,
bro.
Indian Hills Community College.
Oh my God.
And they have another
I'm about to
guy.
look it up.
From the same
When you
college?
when you click on it, there's 3 pros.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The other guy came in 1997, CJ Bruton.
Bro,
So they might have all played together.
that's here.
That's
no,
here?
it's not. No, it's not. No, it's
Oh.
not. Boy, it just threw me off.
Bro, he's gonna go to a game.
They
It's
had 1 pick in
Colorado.
1997 and 2 in 2000. So from 97 to 2000, this community college
could have
was
been-
bussing.
Yeah.
I gotta type in.
Yeah, I got to see. What was their record then? They had to go
19
undefeated, bro.
What was the name of that school?
Indian Hills Community College.
Indian Hills.
They had to go crazy.
Yeah, they had to have been dominating.
to have 2 NBA players
Out of the
drafted in
community
same year.
college?
Yes, bro. Straight. Not D2.
No.
Not community college, bro.
Mikhail, Corey Hightower, and Johnny Taylor.
Career highlights: 38-1 record. CJ Bruton, the guy who went to the NBA, tournament MVP. Terry Carroll was the coach.
Oh yeah, I remember Terry.
38-1 is pretty impressive.
38.
Now can y'all? Now I'm gonna do the 2000s with the 2 guys. The 2000 with the 2 guys. I thought maybe they have played all together. It's a community college, so I don't
Like
think
when they was a freshman, they was senior.
Exactly.
Because community college is only 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. See,
Tough.
In today's game, they would have been able to keep their eligibility.
Hell yeah. Transfer, get a good NIL deal. Go somewhere D1. Make more money than a second round pick.
Yeah.
They were in 2000. This ain't even a team.
they said the Lakers placed a contract on Corey Hightower when he was on waivers.
They found the one. All right, let me get one of mine.
Yeah.
One thing that's not been talked about at all is how putrid the Orlando Magic offense has been.
Bro, you know what's funny? Mine is at the top of my list, and it's literally in bold because it was the title.
Since 2025 has started, they have played 12 games.
Yep.
8 times they have scored 100 points, exactly 100 points or less. 8 out of 12 games, they have yet to crack 100 points, bro.
And they're on a 5-game losing streak.
They dropped 70 points against the Trailblazers.
Yes.
Like,
Shout out to Tomani Kamara.
for sure. I got some Trailblazer stuff in here too. But they just haven't. And we finally got Franz back. He was on a minutes restriction, so that's cool. Welcome back, Franz. But I cannot see how you can see the success you did last year, right? Which is make it to the playoffs, surprise the team, make it to the first round, go to a game 7, and end up losing in there. And not try to do something this deadline.
Well,
And again, I don't need them to swing for the best player of all time, but they need somebody that can put the ball in the basket differently than the way Paolo and Franz do it. They need somebody that can
So they
flat
want
out
Anthony
shoot.
Simons.
Somebody like that.
Yeah, no,
Because them being
actually
6%
perfect.
worse from three than the average NBA team is fucking crazy.
Well, they didn't add any shooting. They had a KCP.
They had a KCP who
It
can't
said
shoot.
instead of Jalen Suggs, and that was gonna fix the shooting thing.
Yeah, I guess they also were hoping that Franz 3-point shot came back to life and he would be back to being a 40% shooter.
That was you saying that.
They are on pace to be the worst 3-point shooting team in the modern era at 30%. That is ridiculous.
I was with you, though. I thought Shai was going to come back, too. I ain't going to lie. It might in the playoffs.
You know,
He got hurt.
But yeah, it's hard to look at you being a 29th worst offense and think that you can legitimately compete.
Do anything.
Yeah.
Even like they're a playoff team for sure, and right now I think they're in the play.
Well, they're on a 5-game skid, so
Right.
they've fallen significantly.
I am going to defend them here. What I'm going to ask y'all to do is calm the hell down.
Well, yeah, my thing is
Give them a little bit of time.
'Cause they didn't
That
have
was
Paulo.
Franz's first game back.
Paulo and Franz did both miss 20 games.
Oblique injury.
So-
Let's give him some time. Suggs is still gone.
Yeah.
I do agree that they still need to make a trade, but I'm not going to sit here and act like they're a 79-point team on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
They'll play until All-Star. That'll be a much-needed break for them. They can regroup. I don't think they're going to have any All-Star participants. Regroup. And then in the second half season, they get the chance to get back into it, and hopefully they did make some type of move because they do need a move. I think we've been saying that since last year.
Yeah, they were a bad offense last year. And the year before that, 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 year before that, year before that, year before that.
I
Year
don't
before that,
understand.
hold on, I'm not done. Year before that and the year before that.
What
14
year?
straight years.
Oh, okay. For
How do you
sure.
historically just have a bad offense? That just sounds
Well, they have a
crazy.
type. Are you 6'8" and you can defend your ass off? Welcome to the Orlando Magic. It's what they've drafted and signed for the past 5 years. And it's worked. They're good. Like,
The defense
I
is
agree with
elite.
Pierre. They are at least a good team when all healthy. There's no denying that. They just did it last year, and they were looking good before Paolo had the oblique injury. But being a good team is like the minimum at this point.
Yeah.
Right? You set some expectations. And they're still super young. But they did buy in on Franz being able to get his jump shot back. They bought in on Jalen Suggs' jump shooting from last year, that's the real version of him and not the year before that or the year before that. So it's a difficult spot to be in. But they just have to do something.
Yeah.
I think they need to go get a guard that can score. Plain and simple. Simons makes too much sense.
Yeah. And now you can move KCP to the bench, have him come off the bench. Now you got Suggs and Anthony Simons out. I just think that you have the depth to where you can make some stuff happen.
Or go get a scoring center. And I'm not even just saying that because Vucevic is available. But
Yeah.
I watched them play their last game. I didn't watch the whole game. They scored 79 points. I tuned the hell out of that. The game before that, Toronto. They're playing against the Toronto Raptors. One of those early games. Like, I ain't got nothing else to do. Let me watch the Wendell Carter did not see somebody guard him for a quarter and a half. He is sitting at the top of the key like this because he's shooting 19% from three, so he has no confidence. And they're just not guarding him.
And he's
So go
honestly,
get a center that can score.
He was a good match for them just because he could space it out for him. You know, like Franz and Paolo need that type of thing, so it sucks that he ain't been shooting the ball well.
And he signed an extension, so he can't even get traded.
Yeah.
If you want to throw him in a trade, you can't. Not until this offseason. So,
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I really had high expectations with the KCP addition. I thought he could really provide some of the things the way he provided in Denver.
he's still giving them the defense, though. That's
the
that's
defense
the good
is
thing.
still there, but like the shot that I thought that was in Denver and throughout his whole career that he's had, it just has not been in Orlando. I don't know where it is. He need to go find it.
Dang. He probably trying to find it.
One thing I wanted to say is it's pretty eye opening to me how like turnovers don't matter to Cade or and this is a good thing. Like it hasn't really impacted them as a team. Like they're continuing to progress and get better, even though he might have these 10 turnover games. And I just think that shows value in them being able to just have the next possession mentality. And I honestly value that. I think it's good. I think he does a lot of other things on the court to where
Logo 3 off the bank.
he may have 10 turnovers, but his impact is going to be so much greater, and you are so much of a better team.
But you do
Wow.
want him to cut
You
him
do
down.
want him to cut him out.
Let's just
no,
make
no,
that very clear.
Yeah, no, you obviously don't want your point guard having 10 turnovers.
For sure.
I try to
But
give him
honestly,
a little bit of leniency because they be on Cade and like
Yeah, he
they
gets
pressure him full
Yeah.
court, blitz him, all that. So he do got to cut some of them down.
Who he
but
had
man,
to- he
he
had
gets a
10
lot of
turnovers
attention.
Against the Rockets in that win.
I watched that game, and I watched every single turnover that happened.
I think he played the game after that. I think he had
He
10
had,
too.
he
10-2.
had back-to-back 10 turnovers.
I watched the one against the Rockets, and he had a lot. There was only one that I can make an excuse for him.
Yeah, some of them are real legitimately like bonehead plays.
Yeah.
They are, but I agree. I agree with you. He's just gonna have to play through it because what are your other options?
Yeah.
And
Lonzo Ball.
You're winning basketball games. He's playing at his best. He's turning the ball over. It happens. Play through it, and limit him as much as possible. He does have some games where he doesn't have the 10, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just a kind of what you have right now, what you're gonna have to go through. The other option is putting the ball in with a Rod Holland, Sar Thompson, because Jaden Ivey is hurt.
Yeah.
So, but I do think for the future layout, I've said this for a couple of years now. I said it last year around the draft where I didn't know what pick they was gonna get, but I'm like, man, if they could get Reed Shepherd, just because it would be somebody else to allow Cade to have different looks and to be able to have the ball out of his hands just a little bit. That's kind of why I like the idea of Zach LaVine being there or whatnot. So I think that does give them some type of need to have for the future of this team.
Yeah, I talked myself into Lonzo for them a little bit.
Lonzo would be a good. I feel like Lonzo doesn't really have a bad fit.
No, it doesn't.
Like he kind of just he's such a plug-in guard that he doesn't really take away.
One of the reasons I said that though is because while Zach LaVine also makes a ton of sense, you think about what happens with Jaden Ivey. If you have Zach LaVine as Jaden Ivey now, super six man. At least with Lonzo, he's an expiring contract.
Yeah.
He plugs in until Jaden Ivey comes back. Maybe you re-sign him, and there's no expectation for Lonzo to be a starter in this league. So when Jaden Ivey comes back, now he's the best six-man point guard in basketball, or something along those lines. So
and also the plus with Lonzo is that he can defend big.
he's
Like,
such a connector too, man.
Yeah.
like he can guard the bigger wings just fine. Like I don't know how much I trust Zach LaVine doing that on a night-to-night basis. At least I know for sure I could trust Lonzo doing it.
And that's him coming off 2.5 years and not playing
That's
basketball,
him
by the way.
doing that with new knees, KB.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he
just
actually
a-
moves
it's-
pretty good on it. He's dunking and stuff.
He's
like-
always been a kind of stiffy-ass mover,
Yeah.
too. But
so like he just looks normal.
yeah.
So
Still
I'm
got
happy.
really good instincts on both sides of the floor. Love me some Lonzo
That's
Ball.
because that IQ never go. They can't hurt your brain now.
For sure.
Uh,
Even though
another,
he pump faked us with the second Jello release. It's been 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, but whatever.
That's because Lonzo did the biggest mistake ever when he spoke too soon. When that song got as big as it was, you got to milk it. Don't put out another song until that starts to trend down, which it feels about now.
Yes.
But when he was talking about, next
It's
Friday,
still popping my head every couple times a day.
next Friday, that would have been bad. It should come out this Friday, the very next Friday, or somewhere in this next week.
I'm more of a fan of like Friday After Next, but
something else I wanted to bring out, and Philly has been talked about a lot, I feel like, this year, kind of like in a negative light. They haven't met the expectations or whatever like that. Honestly, this time for me, it kind of made me think about how much I miss Joel Embiid on the court. Like, he is really, I feel like, the heart of Philly right now, and he's been for a long time. Like, I feel like I don't really have that same excitement watching Philadelphia, and then they have so many national televised games, and it just kind of feels like a waste at this point.
yeah.
And, like, even with Paul George there and Tyrese Maxey, I still feel like I just don't really care enough until Joel Embiid is back healthy. So I just want to say, like, get healthy, JoJo.
For sure.
We need you back in the NBA. The NBA is better with you out there.
Yeah, on a nightly basis, they're a tough watch without Georgia. They had the
Yeah.
game last night was pretty fun, though. I'll
Yeah,
give
Yeah,
them
they
that
ended
one.
up pulling that
Paul
out.
George.
Yeah,
The
Paul
fact that they
George
hit
had his best game.
21 threes or 20 threes.
Yeah.
And the
I
fact
know
Ty Jerome, I'm sorry, Wemby just sham got it, and it just
Ty Jerome is that boy though.
Ty Jerome damn near matched him in threes, which is crazy. But I agree with you, Mike. Just like you think about the word valuable, and of course there's so many valuable players across basketball. Based on what we've seen today, Joel Embiid in that top 5 conversation when it comes to just individual value to his organization, because they have 2 other, in theory, all-stars on the team, and it still doesn't matter. They still can lose 7 in a row because the big fella is not there. And we'll see what they end up doing, because Shams Charania was reporting that there's a world where they shut Joel Embiid down for the season and just let him get completely
I
healthy.
hope so.
So you might not.
Hey,
Get to see
as
him
long as it's
much
next
until-
year, I just need to see him back on the court
For
at
sure.
some point, man. He's
For
one of
sure.
them players.
What the thing that I had brought up, or I had in my notes, is kind of tied into what you said, and it's the Clippers. The Clippers' success this year, it surprised people when it's been talked about, but I think it should be talked about more in a light because the fact that they let Paul George go. Paul George wanted this, he wanted that, and he wanted the third, and they said, you know what, that's too much. we'll cut our ties. We'll let you go to Philadelphia, and we'll just do what we do. And you had guys like Norman Powell talking about subtraction by addition and everything like that.
Addition by subtraction.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, Zubac having a career year. Who was it? Terrence Mann that came out and said this is the best defensive team I ever been a part of.
You got Derrick Jones Jr., who, we was like, oh, it's a mistake. I wish you could have stayed with the Mavericks. But they're doing a thing. Kawhi is back. They're slowly but surely, integrating him. And since he's been back, their defense has been even better. And yeah, they are
I think
legit.
they took the spot for #1 defense in the league.
Yeah, they did.
They took it from OKC.
They are a legitimate playoff team, and I just feel like we have to acknowledge that a little bit more because we are seeing organizations kind of tie themselves up and pigeonhole themselves because they're so afraid of losing this player or that player. And I think the Clippers have set a new example of like, hey, we love Paul George, we wanted him, but we had a line that we drew. Mm-hmm. And to us, it wasn't worth it. And I love the fact that they're able to see some success from it. Because maybe teams will start to have the same mentality where it's like, if we can't keep you, we will, but we're not shooting ourselves and we're not cutting off our foot to have you on this roster. And they're having a much more better season than what Paul George is doing over there with his team.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to see. So many players are just stepping up. The addition by subtraction thing is so real because Norman Powell's playing phenomenal hoops. Zubac defensively, maybe I didn't recognize it last season, but I'm watching this man defend like crazy. And maybe he's been doing this for 6 years, and I just never really. But this year specifically, he's been incredible. They're well coached. There was one play 2 nights ago. When did they go against the Lakers? That was 4 nights ago, 5 nights ago?
That was a little bit.
Yeah, because we played the Celtics last game.
Either way, you got a possession where you got to stop and Stan Van Gundy, or Jeff Van Gundy is on the sideline and he jumping up. They really got this identity of the defensive-oriented team. And now that Y is back, you can expect the offense to continue to tick up, because he's moving as fluidly as Kawhi could. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, he always been kind of the stiff-ass dude. But it's a real story that they should be a top 6 seed, which sounds crazy going into the season. I didn't think there was a world this is even possible.
I just think it's amazing that both LA teams are hooping right now. Like, they're both – the Lakers are 5 and the Clippers are 6. Like, they're both legitimately out of the play-in, right? At least of right now.
And somehow you would think the sky was falling for one of them teams.
It basically is.
The way fans be talking.
Yeah, for the Clippers to not have Kawhi, they're just in a different success level, in my opinion.
Are they getting an All-Star?
No.
Probably not.
So
It'd be
they'll
cool
like
if
the
James
Pelicans
Harden
last
made
year,
it.
where they are really good, but they don't get an All-Star.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it happens
feel
all the
like
time.
Every team needs to have an All-Star.
Yeah. Because who's the guy? Is it Norm?
No,
'Cause,
it'd
like,
probably be just,
It would be James Harden.
It would be
but
James
he-
Harden.
He damn near. It would have to be like for
The guard's too loaded for
wild
me.
Yeah, it would
card
be
or some
too
shit.
loaded.
Kyrie Irving deserves to be an All-Star over James Harden right now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, every playoff team don't need one, and just like every team that ain't in the playoffs aren't exempt.
They'll get one next year.
LaMelo Ball should be an All-Star, even though his team ain't gonna be in the playoffs.
Who's going to be the one next year?
I don't know, but it's in LA's. So,
Yeah.
Larry Marketing, Tyrese Halliburton, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen. When it's in your city, somebody gonna hoop their ass off ready to get that All-Star.
It's the marketing
appearance.
thing. It's smart.
Yeah.
It'll be LeBron.
All of those guys deserved it though. I ain't.
They're gonna be like, that's true. That's true.
And that's when LeBron going to do the skills challenge with Bronny. That's why
If they ain't do it now, they
Bronny
ain't,
might be an All-Star
they
next
ain't
year.
gonna
Who
do it
knows?
at all.
We hope.
Yeah.
Another thing I got is the Boston Celtics are now like considered a middle of the pack 3-point shooting team.
Yes,
And,
Darrick.
like, I don't know how much of a concern we should put on that, just because last year we know they were historically great, and that was something they really held their hat on, and that was a big reason why they kind of ran through the competition. And we're seeing this year they might not be. They're shooting in the middle of the pack, and they are a good team, but they aren't this great dominant team.
Yes. 100%. I mean, I said that I've been somewhat worried about them for a couple weeks now, and that's one of the main reasons. They still got the same amount of volume, but the efficiency is way down. A lot of players that we've just grown attached to being elite 3-point shooters just aren't that this season. But the thing about 3-point shooting is that it's so much variance that who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Playoff come around,
They
they
get
back
hot.
to shooting like they
That's
did
why,
last year.
that's why I'm not worried at all, man. Like,
But it's such a big if when you talk about like a
It is.
45-game sample size. Them
And when you
being
live
average.
by it, what do you do?
you die by it.
Like you doing that when you are the third best 3-point shooting percentage team in ball makes too much sense. But you're middle of the pack, when you're 16 and 17 at this, it's like, ugh.
I'm with you though, Mike. I still think that
I
I still think
they-
highly of them, but for people that are concerned, I can't say that they're wrong because
Yeah.
you got to make your threes if that's the big identity that you are.
That I remember we had like a long time ago. It was like maybe it was like the True Survey, whatever about the team. And Celtics used hard to find. I was like, maybe instead of 52 threes, y'all take like 48, 47. Just go to the paint a little bit more. Just increase the shot variety because anytime you're just taking consistent threes, you give anybody a chance to beat you if you're not hitting. But I still believe in them really a lot, not even from the three-point perspective. I think in a 7-game series, they can lock in individually, defensively on anybody, and that's what's going to turn up their offense. So
Luckily, they do have that. They are still a top 5 defense.
yeah. The regular season, I never thought that they would really go crazy in the regular season, especially this season, just because why wear yourself out when you know that like you're going to easily be a top 2, top 3 seed. You're going to probably walk the first round, probably walk the second. Like once it gets to the conference finals and the finals, I feel like we really going to see Boston.
You think they need home court? They're one of them home court advantage type teams.
Nah.
I think
I
by
think they can
default
go
they
into
just
any arena and win. I think they feel confident within themselves. I think that's more.
It
so
is
like
hard
with
as hell to win
young
in Boston.
teams, that's a veteran team right there.
No, not this year, Mike. They got more losses already at home this year than they did all of last year. I think they had 4 last year. 4 total.
Then the Pacers. I think the Pacers beat them at home.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat did too.
It's
Tyler
just
Hero.
it's just so hard to beat them in 7 games.
It is.
Yeah, especially when you talk about the volume of threes, they might just
because
start falling.
I'm imagining in hypothetically a game 7 or game 6, like most of those, it might be 2 games where they just shoot out lights out.
Where it's over at halftime. We like, what else is on?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what happened with the Knicks in Game 1 of the season.
Yes.
They tried to go for the record. And couldn't get it. No, they didn't break it.
It
No, I said
literally,
they almost
it
did.
looked
Oh,
like
they tied
it
it.
literally looked like damn, here to go all over again.
Yep. Here come the Avalanche.
But then
But now they got to deal with the Cavalanche.
the Cavalanche.
That's what the Cavs
And
been
they are the
doing.
number 1 3-point shooting team. in
As
the
long as
league.
DG not missing no free throws, we
Even
cool
though
then.
they've also seen some regression.
Yeah.
And it's weird to say that after last night where they shot 53% from 3.
Oh, well, it's shout out to Ty Jerome.
Ty
He didn't miss.
Jerome,
Ty
bro.
Jerome didn't miss.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's Ty.
Ty Dolla $ign?
Ty Dolla $ign is his nickname. Ty Dolla $ign and Jerome from the 5th floor. Those are your 2 nicknames. Ty Jerome. Take them and run with it, brother. Run with it. Trust me.
I got another one, and this is so minuscule, but I think that's what this episode is about, right? The Trailblazers are winning too many basketball games all of a sudden.
I kind of wanted to. I saw that and I was like,
I've been
because they
impressed.
do show up. They do show up.
I haven't been locked in on Portland. Y'all can imagine why, but like when I do tune in, I be impressed with what I be seeing from
So-
Anthony Simons. Anthony Simons be on this shit.
A week and a half ago,
Who it was lately, Scoot.
they were 5th in lottery odds. They're down at 8th. They're 1 game away from being number 9 with the Bulls, bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Chauncey Billups trying to save that job, but
And I think he
you
might be
can't-
losing his
you
job
can't-
by saving
You
his
can't save
job.
it too much.
Like,
Well,
if I-
he also can't control dudes going out there and spazzing.
He can control playing the vets 37 minutes a game. That's the part he can control,
Yeah.
and that's the part he has to control. But you can't tell a coach to not win, right? That's not in his DNA. Chauncey Billups has been a winner in his career.
They
But
also
also-
don't have a horrible team. That's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
been the
Yeah, they don't.
You got Aiden, Klingen, Williams, Jeremy Grant, Denny, Shaden Sharp, Scoot, Anthony Simons,
Tumani Kamara.
Tamani Kamara, and then Delano Bannon some nights to give
Yeah.
you some. They ain't that god awful. That's always been the frustrating part. They got to trade some guys, man.
They 100% do.
Well, yeah, Jeremy Grant should definitely be a guy that should be shopping at the deadline.
They trying.
They
They've
should
been
be-
trying for a while.
This
Robert
is-
Williams,
'Cause
Jeremy
this is the
Grant.
cheapest his contract is going to be. It's
Robert
only gonna
Williams
get
been
more
looking
expensive.
pretty damn good.
He's
Like,
not going to be on the team.
Bro,
That's
I-
one guy they're going to.
He took a hard fall the other day. I'm like, ooh, he got up right. He got right back up though. I'm like, yeah.
No,
There
when
we go,
Robert
Rob.
Williams- When Robert Williams is playing, he go out there and he show his ass.
Yeah, Celtic fans always loved him.
But it's just, will they find a team that want? I don't know what they want for him. They probably want
Rob?
a second.
Couple seconds,
Yeah.
maybe.
Jeremy Grant, you could probably get a first or 2, depending on how desperate the team is.
The last thing I'll bring up is the impact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is having on the game. And obviously, everybody's acknowledging Shai and what the Thunder are doing from a MVP perspective or whatnot. But when you talk about the product of the NBA, I think he's doing a good job of kind of restoring the feeling. And I remember I made a tweet like a couple days ago, like last week, where I'm like, No, that's when they played the Cavs and he had the statement game.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he kind of giving me Mamba flashbacks. And I remember tweeting it, being prepared for people to kind of be like, oh, man, you're taking it too far. To my surprise, a lot of people agreed. And I've kind of seen some of the same things this week of people saying similar stuff. And I just think that it's good to see us have somebody who kind of goes against what the NBA has become, which is a lot of three-point shooting and less and less mid-range shots and analytic basketball. And
I thought
the whole
Ant-Man
foul baiting.
and this year it's just been rough for the Timberwolves, but I felt like last year Ant-Man was doing a lot of that where he was like, he was bringing back that old school NBA feel where I didn't have to launch up all these three. I was getting in my bag. I was a strong two.
Then he came in this year and said, you know what? I need to get
bro, watching them, they don't got no damn spacing for him to get to that damn lane. I mean, they want Julius to shoot. They not guarding Rudy. They're not guarding Jaden McDaniels. So it's like, I damn near have to take this 3-point shot might be the best look I get on this possession.
And he's just been great at it too.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm gonna shoot this well, why not shoot this well?
Yeah, I don't think when you're hot, you don't want to just stop shooting it. You got to ride that hot wave.
Hey, this might not be a wave, man. We 40 games in, and he's still doing it. It just might be the new him. He said he started his release point like Damian Lillard now.
He did say that.
So maybe that was just the shift in his jump shooter.
Last thing that I want to talk about, kind of like the evolution of Trae Young's game a little bit. He went from like basically he kind of like a heliocentric guard, like everything was going to run through him. But the way he's just kind of been like, I'll play off the ball. I'll look for my teammates. I'll do that a lot more. It kind of opened up the game for everybody else, for Jalen Johnson to expand his game, for Dyson Daniels. Like everybody, it allows DeAndre Hunter to expand his game. And I think that's kind of like what the NBA is still missing a little bit. I feel like there's so many heliocentric offenses or like so many people that just demand the ball that we kind of miss out on some of these other players' game because they're kind of asked to just stand in the corner, just provide spacing for these players.
Trae Young has the lowest usage rate since his rookie season. Shout out to Trae for buying in because, we always talk about Trae Young. As long as he's on the team, you can expect to have a top 10 offense. That's just who he has been throughout his career. But for him to say, no, I recognize the young fella, Jalen. I understand that we got this rookie in that needs some touches here or there. I'm okay with adjusting. It's pretty cool because I think, though right now I think they're 500 again. Like they always are 500 team every single year. I think it just sets them up better for the future to get these reps from Jalen or get these reps from some of these other dudes. They're one of them teams that for this deadline, I don't know what the hell they're going to end up doing, but I like that as a point, Mike, because visually when you watch this team versus even last team when he had DeJounte or the year before that when he didn't have DeJounte, was that 2 years ago? It's just a different basketball player in a way.
And I think he still has he's doing a better job, and I think he's only going to get better at it, at like getting everybody involved for the first couple quarters. But when it comes down crunch time, like this Trae Young time right here, like let me take y'all home, and he's been doing a good job.
I just need to see his scoring get back to normal. Like his efficiency.
He's one of them
really
players
bad
that
this
like,
year, man.
yeah,
It's like James Harden. Like that don't just because his efficiency bad don't mean he's bad or he's not.
Once he hot
winning.
though, you be like, damn,
Yeah,
he's
for
not
sure.
missing. But it's like, he carried that game
for sure.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy to see his efficiency just drop over the last few seasons. You would have thought it would have bounced back, but it just hasn't. But it has. I will say he's done a great job of still playing winning basketball. So he's not letting it bother him too much.
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes what dudes can get in their head is like they efficiency drop, everything else kind of drop with it. So like at least he's still giving you the elite playmaking, and he took the step defensively to play a lot better on that side of the ball the last 2 seasons. So I'm just happy to see Atlanta just doing what they're doing.
Bro, I forget. Somebody was posting him up, and he was talking to him like, bro, I don't know why you posting me up, but it's not sweet over there. And he got the steal off it, too. I'm like, okay, Trae. Damn, I wish I could remember who was posting him up.
Not being able to score on Trae Young is kind of crazy, I ain't gonna lie. I got a couple small ones, and I'm trying to make sure I got my numbers right real quick. I turned off I keep mine on lock. Orientation. I had to turn it off so I could look at these numbers.
I thought your phone usually be off lock for when you watch your video.
Right, you're right. You're right. DeMar DeRozan's scoring since Doug Christie. The numbers, we talking about an 11-game sample size. He's averaging 26 points per game. And attempting 4 threes per, by the way.
Underdog. And then
Underdog.
With Mike Brown, it was what, 21, 20?
It was about 21. The exact numbers, I can get them for you in a second. 20.8. So he's just been maybe empowered. I don't know what the right word is, but under Doug Christie to play more his game, but also to expand his game to where he is shooting more threes. I think that's pretty damn dope. And obviously they winning ball games again, which is cool. And then my last one was Trey Murphy III, just jump. That's it. He's been great.
Yeah, he has.
And that's even with him not shooting the three-point ball as good as previous years.
I do say he does put his head down just to get to the rim.
100%.
I love that about him.
He's putting that ball on the floor way more this
Yeah,
season.
you could
better than
definitely see
the
that
three-point
he's a
shooter.
lot more comfortable putting the ball on the floor.
Yeah. And I love that for him.
And he be getting like kind of acrobatic in a way too. I'd be like, oh, okay, Trey.
And he's still dunking.
Don't forget
Yeah,
my
he's
boy was in a
definitely
dunk
still
contest.
drunk.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still dunking. Throw it down. That's it. Those are some of the under talked about things across ball that we all put together. You let us know in the comment section what you think. Unplugged?
Yeah.
Unplugged.
I was watching the TGL the other day. First of all, I'm excited about the TGL. It's been hard to watch though because every game's been a blowout. Regardless, it made me want to go play some golf again.
For real.
So I'm so happy that we got a little
Yeah.
date going on.
Tyler
that we
just
can go.
confirmed he's coming.
He's gonna drive in.
He's coming. He said the
Hey,
drive
man.
ain't that bad though.
Okay.
Just give them the heads up. They might make the trip.
Okay.
That's why I put in that chat. I just told everybody like we planning this and that. See if y'all can slide by. And some people said they can, but that don't really matter.
When are you talking? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You talking about the simulator, right?
Yeah.
On Sunday, I
I
put in
thought
the
you said you
That's
had
exactly
something
what you
planned.
said. I'm putting this together.
Yeah, 'cause
No,
you
no, no. I
definitely
said
not putting shit together.
I said I put it in the chat
Oh, okay.
for the
Yeah,
other
that
guys
you
to
said
know.
we
Yeah,
putting this together.
yeah. I didn't say I put it. I said I put it in the chat.
No, you said something about putting it together.
I didn't put shit together. So
No,
I'm
no.
glad you specified
I didn't
that.
put shit together.
I'm just trying to show you why we didn't know what you meant.
yeah.
'cause-
Yeah, I thought you had a
Terrifying.
party going
Yeah,
on
me too.
next
We
week.
was
or
like, you ain't
something.
tell us this. You might have told a different group chat.
No, but originally it's probably gonna be just us. But if we can get one or two of
That's
the
fine.
other guys,
That's fine with me. Because I saw Tyler tell me who all coming. I'm not.
I'm
who
not.
all
Don't
coming
reply
guy.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need to know who coming, then come or don't.
Who all coming is crazy at this age.
Right? Who is he looking for? John. He looking for John to be
But
there.
I will give Tyler credit. He said, "I'm down.
I'll be there.
I'll
who,
be there.
Who will be there? too.
Who all's coming?
Yeah.
It wasn't like who coming.
I'll
be-
determine.
Yeah. But it's still kind of like, who cares? I don't know. I really don't know. Somebody last minute might be like, oh, I'm popping up. Like I don't know. Somebody last minute might be like, oh, I can't come.
Should be fun though. We ain't play golf in 2-3 months.
I'm
That's
nervous.
fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be so rusty.
I'm nervous.
I was already mid, but I can only imagine.
Oh my goodness.
That was nasty.
taking off so much
Golly.
time from playing that it's just gonna be even worse.
I just got the memory of when I hit that little chip shot in from about like 20 out.
I remember you breaking KB club.
We not talking about that. We here
That's-
talking
I'm
about when
telling
he
you
hit
what I
that chip
remember.
shot.
Really
It's,
did
it's,
break
it's
his
water under the
driver.
bridge because the store fixed it for free.
Okay.
They actually gave me an upgrade on my So matter of fact,
So
shout out to
I
bro,
did you
man.
decent.
Shout out to bro.
You got your clubs?
Do I have my clubs? No.
Because you damn sure not using our club.
Nah, I got the clubs that they got up there.
Okay.
Y'all
I
wanna
got a
know what
special
happened
set
to
for
me
me.
recently. So I was getting my remote start fixed, right?
Yeah, you text us about it. We was waiting on you for something. What
It was
it?
it was the day we were supposed to do a playback stream, but we ended up not doing it. And so I'm getting it fixed, right? And then as I'm checking out, he was like, "Yeah, looks like someone broke it. Like someone who did work on my car in the past." He said they ripped out the wires on accident and they tried stuffing them back in, but they clearly didn't know what they were doing, and so that's why it hasn't been working for a while. And I was like, "So someone broke it working on my car, didn't tell me because they didn't want to pay to get it fixed."
Yeah.
Or they didn't want to fix it themselves for free because they fucked it up.
Or if they broke it on purpose, so you can come back for another reason to give them business.
That's yeah.
Well,
Though,
Auto
that's a
body
real
shops
that's a
and
real
stuff, they be
conspiracy
doing
for
shit
body
like that,
shops
man.
like that.
and I'm just like,
Who
y'all,
did you take? Who you be taking your car to?
I bet you ain't trying to go light they spot up.
well, it's probably been it was Midas, or it was like,
So I'm
it was,
just
it was
asking.
a few other places.
You
I
don't
probably
take your
did.
car to the same people?
No, not all the time.
Yeah, I take
So,
my
like,
car to the same.
It was no
folks
way I was gonna be able to pinpoint who did it.
over at
You should have
BMW.
started an investigation.
You take it at one
Yeah,
place.
that would be
You
crazy.
take it at one
Fucking
place,
Sherlock.
and you know,
Yeah.
you know,
And I'm just like,
because your
that's
car ain't got no
crazy.
dealership, right?
Mitsubishi has, yeah, they have.
No,
a
I'm
few
saying
dealerships.
like around us. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know they. Oh,
I think they
so
yeah,
do.
there's two.
You don't take your car there?
I have a few times, but
You know
the
they be
dealership
overtaxing sometimes.
They be taxing, but they don't do shit like this. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying. I agree.
They usually
be
have like
taxing.
the actual parts.
BMW definitely tax, but I know that they responsible for everything they do, and whenever they've messed something up, I've gone and they've taken care of it.
And my warranty runs out at the end of this month, so I got to take it in one last time for free. Just do something.
Just check it.
Just check it. Just make sure everything
My,
good.
when you need your car service, the light comes on and it. Audi probably do the same thing. It sends it to the
Yeah,
dealership.
they just and then they start texting you 100
yes,
times.
and calling and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing
Mm-hmm.
because when we come back from All Star, I'm getting a new car. So don't call me. Don't call me about Mr. Andreessen. It says that don't care. I'm not paying nothing before I get a new car. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
As
doing,
long as it's running.
Yes, it's running and it's going to run fine. So I don't want to hear nothing. You think I'm about to give y'all $500 to do this and that just for me to give the car up 2 weeks later? Absolutely not.
I remember I was mad because I put gas in my car, but like later that night I got a new car. I was mad. I mean, because I went to go get my new car kind of like on just some like, let me go browse, let me go check at the store.
And
I
you
see
ended up
some,
committing.
and I ended up committing to it. But it's like early that day, I was like, I did
You
just.
should have siphoned it out.
Yeah.
Put them right back in the new car.
Yeah, I don't want to do no shit like that.
Bro, I mean, now that I think about it, none of y'all girls wear like no remotes type stuff at home, do they?
What do you mean?
Remote jobs, like
Oh,
Suzanne
yeah.
obviously don't.
Yeah.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
What does she do? Or is she just kind of
Towards
like
her
on the computer?
insurance.
Oh, Elena,
So she's on the computer.
Elena's about to start doing basically like helping people with their taxes or whatever. It's like a little part-time job or whatever. But like yesterday she was prepping for it and she had like the little headset on. And I was like, I cannot wait till I hear like how you talk to these like customers or whatever. Cause like
Hey, how you doing?
they have like the little examples they do. Cause it's like she doing training right now. And they had like this one guy pop up. He's like, man, I just can't believe what y'all guys are doing. Y'all got me out here waiting on the phone. Like he's being extra aggressive. And it's just like an example. But I'm like, it's gonna be real life people
Hell
that's
yeah,
real.
she's
Like, cause they
definitely
talking
gonna
about
go
IRS and taxes. That's your money right there.
Yeah.
So people gonna be fed up. So I was like, I can't wait to see how that goes.
And nobody
out.
like doing taxes, so everybody always on edge around this time,
For sure.
trying to maximize your return or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So she gonna do your taxes this year?
No,
No.
I got a designated tech person.
Okay.
You know, he in a different tax bracket than us, so he need
Yeah.
a couple people.
He
He
still
probably
go
got bronze.
he still go to Beal.
Bronze tax person.
I wish I had the same account as Braun
Man,
or
Shit.
tax dude.
He probably wouldn't even prioritize you. He got a bigger account.
yeah, you're not finna do my taxes for $100. Fucking Brian.
Yo shit, you little shit. You gonna
He
get your shit done on
said
last
he damn
on
near
the
live
last
tax
day.
free. That's how good his tax guy is.
That should sound hella illegal. Hell no.
All them
Oh,
write-offs,
man.
he doing fine.
Tax season's always an interesting one, man.
You think billionaires really to be lying on a tax?
Yeah,
tax
we
write-offs?
we do.
You a billionaire?
Billionaires probably do it the most.
Of course.
That's a nut ass question.
Yeah, it is.
They be doing all type of shit, boy.
Yeah.
When we going back hooping?
That's why they wanted Donald Trump. Some of them
we
wanted
not
Donald
hooping no
Trump.
more.
I only hoop in my dreams,
I've
brother.
been wanting to hoop.
I have
man.
too,
I've been
but I know
wanting to
y'all
hoop.
don't be the one to do shit.
We just got to put it together.
We can barely get you to go to a Bulls game. So I'm like, ooh.
But Mike is coming out twice in back-to-back
Nah,
days.
I thought he was gonna say that. I thought he was gonna say that.
Oh,
And then right after that, you gotta hang out with us in San Francisco.
I'll be there.
He ain't gonna
I'll
be
show
hanging
my
out, but he
face.
gonna be there.
No, we got some plans.
No, I'm
Late night
excited
activities.
for San Francisco, man. I feel like if we ain't traveled in some time
Since Vegas.
since
Vegas,
Vegas, so it's
yeah.
been 6 months.
Yep, to Vegas.
So yeah, we definitely need a little trip. Even though it's a work trip, we're gonna be busy.
want to go to Miami too.
I really wish we could have went golfing in San Francisco.
You keep saying that. I just
don't feel like bringing golf clubs.
I just don't see the time either.
Yeah, our itinerary's stacked.
Yeah, it is.
Unless you want to drop some shit. No more live show, y'all. Darrick
Right.
said we going golfing, man.
Nah, they just mean us at the course.
All right, that's what we
We
do.
having a live show at the golf course.
What do you think about this guy, P?
Who? Kyler Murray Boyd?
Yeah,
I think he's really good. I think he's gonna be a
you remind me of Julius.
I think he's gonna be one of those guys that like. I think he's a little bit more
Good
controlled than
pass.
Julius. That's him on the money.
I used to think like was 6'7", back to the basket bruiser type of guy.
Yeah.
Interested in where he
You
ended
don't
up
see the
falling.
ceiling being that high in the NBA.
But you can make a play like that. That's a nice play,
It is.
especially if you're talking about who gonna be picking that high.
Portland Trailblazers, baby, they got number 8 right now.
See, now I think that's when it gets tricky. But yeah, I think he's gonna be a solid NBA player. I'm starting to like the guys that aren't necessarily one and done. I like the one and done guys too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
I tweeted like, who's your favorite prospect? Because I've been trying to. The draft is quite a bit away, but I'm more preparing myself for March Madness. Who some names I need to be looking for? And the guy that you replied, the 4-year guy from who did you reply? What's his name?
Rasheer Fleming.
Yes, from St. Joe's. He looked kind of nice. He looked like an NBA player more than anything.
Easton type of
he
guy.
looked like an NBA player.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay.
Shooting 40% from 3 as well.
I don't. Is St. John's even a tourney team? I'm not even sure, but
St. John's is. He goes to St. Joe's.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
On the fence.
Okay.
I'm going to say no as of right now, but anything is possible.
Conference play ain't wrapped up.
Exactly. And then you got the conference tournament. So conference tournament, you automatic bid. And I think that's where they can do some damage at. I think they can win their conference tournament. So they also got a dude that can really score. He's a draft guy, but they got a guy named Eric Reynolds, who's a guard. Eric Reynolds can win a game by himself type score. So, yeah.
Hey, the other day, now we really getting into some unplugged shit. My daughter is
Which is what we here for.
right. She's about to be 3 in a couple months.
Yes.
And it's time to we upgraded her bed from. She went from a crib to like the crib you can remove one of the sides, so now it's like a
adjustable.
Yes.
Yeah.
She got a real life bed now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I spent a couple hours like putting together her bed frame and everything. And what I recognize is I actually enjoy the time of putting some shit together, man.
I've yet to feel that when I'm putting stuff together.
I enjoy it when I know what I'm doing.
I need some instructions. Don't put me in there blind.
There's been a couple things that I did wrong, and it got me frustrated. Like I got Aria vanity for Christmas, and I had some flipped around. It was when my wrist was sore too, and I was like, I'll just let Dana do it. Mm-hmm. But I put together my work desk, and because I was flowing, I was doing it. I liked it a lot. I put together everything in my office. I put together by myself, and I enjoyed it because I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, it's like a sense of accomplishment.
No, for sure. It
like
really is.
out.
It really is.
It's like working out for sure. But when you messing something up, or you keep putting something together, and it's like it ain't right, and you like, man, what the hell? You got to undo it and try it again,
like
and it still ain't right.
You put a one piece the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot.
Yeah, and you got to go back the whole way.
Yeah.
I do that so much.
And then it messes up. You connected another piece, and then like
that's
you
when it becomes not fun at all. That's when it's like, man, why ain't hire somebody to come do this?
Bro,
I broke my bed, put my bed together. It was super fulfilling.
Elena had bought this like nightstand or like, I don't know, it was just like a little nightstand you had to put together, but it had like a bunch of stuff to it. Like it had like a charging port on it or whatever. And she got it in. She thought I was finna put it together. When I say it legit had to be a million pieces in there, I'm talking about for tools. You need tools to screw in the
when I start
drilling the
saying you
screws.
need a drill to put
I'm
it,
like, I can't even do it.
I got tools because you just have to have them in your house.
Yeah.
But my biggest pet peeve is when I buy something and it say not included. And
Yeah.
No. Give me Allen wrench.
They usually be having
Call
like,
it a
they'll
day.
have the Allen wrench, they'll have the other part on the other side of it. Like
Yeah,
they
like the
usually hook
screw.
it up with the tools included.
Well, I bought it. So they tried to get teed up to be in my house.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be how my YouTube set half, and the other half was going to be teed up. We did it. It was too tight. So when they took everything out, I'm like, damn, I got a lot of space. So I got like a little workout bench and weights that I put in there. And I was shopping for the bench because a lot of times I had the weights. I got some new weights, but I had old weights. And a lot of times I try to like do a certain set a certain way, and I wouldn't have shit to lay my back on. So I'm getting shit out the front room. I'm in here like I'm in jail.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just get a nice little thing so every day I can do something. And, you know, when the weather start to break out again, I'll be able to walk, get a lift in, and I'll be decent. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I want to, you know, I'm about to be 30. Want to be a little. I saw the rawest shit ever, and I didn't buy it. I ended up getting something else. But when I was looking at one of the benches, I looked at the reviews, and it said, this bench is phenomenal, yada, 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 yada. So I'm like, I might finna buy this. So then I go to see like how big it was going to be, how much it was going to weigh, and how easy put together. The description said, we put everything together. Everything is assembled. When you take it out, you just got to tighten. That's all you got to do. And I was like, I have never seen no shit like that before, but why is it not everybody else doing that? I know it
how
sounds.
does that work?
I don't know.
That box
Because the box
big
got to be
as
big
fuck.
as hell.
Yeah, but it's like, or it's a lot of shit, especially like a bench, you connect. So if these two pieces, I'm just screwing in and I just slide this on top of here and it's just locks, then we good.
Right.
So I thought about that as well. Now there are some shit like a couch. You can't, hey man, we got all the pieces in the couch. You just got to tighten. Okay, you can't get that. But like the little shit like that, or like the nightstand you was talking with the million pieces, if they can kind of assemble it halfway for you and all you got to do is tighten, I'm like, more people need to do that because I was 99% close to buying that. Just because I knew
when I be looking at stuff, I definitely look at reviews, especially like on Amazon. It'll be like, how hard is it to assemble?
I
also look at the amount of reviews. The amount of reviews.
Yeah,
because like if someone only got 4 reviews,
5-star with 6 reviews, that ain't no review.
Y'all could have hired.
Hey,
that could have been y'all
exactly
6
what
employees.
they did. That's exactly what they did,
It could have been your 6 homies.
I need 1,300 reviews with a 4.7, 4.6, and
with a little 1-star in there because somebody was salty. But you take that with the grain of
But
salt.
see, this is
That's
what I
the
do.
real. That's the real.
They salty because it got delivered later. So.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
You go look at the one review and it be some shit that I'd be like, this ain't even this ain't got to do with them.
Yeah, I've never went out my way to write a review.
I saw somebody leave a 1 review. And then they updated. They was like, it's a 1, but I'm moving it up to 2.5 because they replied back quickly and fixed it. I'm like, that's a 5-star.
They recognized their mistake and they fixed it.
They gave them a piece that was broken. They hit them up. They quickly responded and shipped them back free of charge. And you was talking about you just moved it up a little. No, that's 5-star service.
Yeah.
What do you mean that I'll just move it up an extra star? Like y'all people be crazy in them reviews, bro. People be crazy.
Great customer service don't matter, I guess.
Because I be looking at them reviews like, oh, damn, it's a 1. And then I'll see something, I'll be like, you got entitlement. That ain't nothing. It was supposed to come Thursday, and it came Thursday night.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my gosh, bro. Oh, my gosh. But I love Amazon reviews because.
Y'all like the pictures on Amazon?
No, they do videos.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of older men, when you like with the bench stuff or a desk, they'll be up there, and they'll give you a whole review of how they put it together.
I bought some, like, foot moisturizer one time, and I was looking through the reviews.
You was trying to see someone moisturize their feet.
Yes, he was.
I wanted to see if they had the best effect. But they was putting pictures on there. When I say somebody foot looked like they was a damn mummy. It's for like dry feet. My feet are not in the best
Why
shape.
did you need to watch? Why did you need to look at other people do it?
I wasn't looking at motherfucker. I know how to apply it on. I'm trying to see if people think it's an effective thing.
So okay.
How ineffective can it be? It's moisturizing.
But okay, you expecting before and after pictures? This is what my feet look like ashy.
I wasn't really going there for I was just looking at the reviews, but
you did click
the
pictures.
pictures are literally right there. And one of the first pictures, somebody's foot was messed up. I'm talking about like they shit look like a damn mummy.
I only look at reviews on
but like the next picture, the before after, they picture they foot look regular. So I
I'm
was
just
like,
kind of caught off
be
guard
good.
because I only look at reviews of like if I'm getting a desk or a workout equipment. I've never was like.
Well, I had
I'm
a
gonna try
problem.
this
I never
lotion.
looked. I never looked at reviews, but once I started, that's anything I buy, I'm looking at the reviews.
Because it's
How
like
is foot
moisturizer.
lotion different than lotion?
It's
lotion?
not. It's not just like regular lotion. I could show you what it is. It's like some special.
Some special. Your feet
It's
that
like
bad?
like
you
a
need special
oil type of
grade
thing.
lotion.
My feet is bad.
Now, this is what I would say, KB. I feel them because in my bathroom, I have my toothbrush, my toothpaste. I have, what do you call it? The pick, the water pick.
The floss, the water
Yeah,
floss.
water floss pick. I have face lotion.
Mm-hmm.
I have body lotion. I have hand cream. In the winter, my hands get very, very
Cracked
dry.
up, yeah.
They're even dry like right here.
Mine
so I
is
put
too,
on a
yeah.
hand cream. I've only put regular foot lotion on. But if his feet do get that dry, as a person that gets hand cream, I could see. But hand cream is also in my pocket. It's a little bit more tangible. But I put regular lotion on my feet too.
That's a lot of money for this little ass vial.
It does the job though.
Let me look at the reviews.
Has
Don't look at the pictures,
has
though.
regular lotion not done this job?
I just think it, like my feet are too severe, like dry for
What the
regular
fuck do
lotion.
you be doing?
wow.
Is this naturally or like it's
I
just
just
lack of care?
a lot of
over
time,
the
like
years?
I used to,
Not lotion them.
So
not
you
wear
would lotion
socks.
your
Like I'll
legs
wear
and
no
not-
socks. I'll just do
Well,
whatever.
you got to go get you a few pedicures.
That
Yeah.
helps as well.
100% will help.
Because when I go in there, pull out that meat cleaver and get the.
Get
when
the-
I walk in there, they be
Get all that
laughing.
dead skin off.
They be laughing.
They be
Well,
pointing and
you
laughing at
gotta
my
suck up
feet.
your pride. Because if you go 3 weeks in a row, they can't laugh the 4th week because you've been taking care of yourself.
I went, they was laughing. I felt the way too. And then I went with my mom one time and they was talking about your son handsome. So I was like, oh.
I
That's why
told you
y'all
I was watching
laugh.
Abbott Elementary, and they had like a nail girl up there at the school, And
So
so all the
young,
girls
wanna
started
go-
getting they like feet done.
dinner with the
She's
boys.
like, for you, feet that big, we gonna charge extra. She's like, girl, I'm used to it.
I love my nail people, man.
There, you just went to go get yourself. You pampered yourself the other day, didn't you?
I ain't on that level yet.
Oh yeah.
You on that level?
I have. I haven't done it in a few years.
I ain't
now.
on that level.
What you
should
got
go
the,
back.
the Brazilian?
No, not the full Brazilian.
You got the Brazilian wax?
Damn
No.
near, pretty close.
What did you get? You got a landing strip? Like what?
Yeah.
No, I just wax everything off.
Ooh.
Isn't that Brazilian?
No, I don't. I don't do the buck wrap.
How was the
Oh,
pain?
okay.
Like, how did the pain feel?
It wasn't that bad.
That's not even funny, but the way Pierre looked was funny.
Wait, what happened?
Talk about. We finna really get unplugged. So if you want to exit the interview, not the interview, you want to exit the episode now, we appreciate y'all. Leave a like. Make sure you getting that info. For the rest of y'all that want to stay for some of this conversation, I just wanted to set the. We're not ending, Austin. We got about a couple more minutes. I just want to ask him some questions. I was just letting them.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as a man,
Yeah.
I've always thought when you went and got waxed, you get the other stuff, but you're there to get the shit, the butt.
I do it sometimes. I just didn't do it this time.
So why did you go? You can't shave your own shit?
No, it's not even just about that. The wax lasts so much longer than
Yeah.
just
Okay,
shaving.
yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
my
It's
life-
closer to the skin as well.
Like if I shave, I have to shave like every 2 to 3 days.
Damn.
Hey, bro, you about to make me walk
Damn.
off this
Hey,
set.
bro.
Because I'm being
In order
reminded
for me to
about
keep
stuff.
it, in order for me to keep it consistent,
For sure.
2 to
At
3
a-
days is
at a-
crazy.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't
Bro,
want proof,
say
but I
I'll
don't
be good
believe
for
you.
I'll be good for a minute.
The reason I'm saying that is because exactly when I shave, is it in a few days? Is it bald eagle still? No. But is it at a rate where it's like I need to go do this again?
I ain't doing that, but like I
because
got.
I know if I do wait more than a few days, it's going to end up going even longer, and I'm going to end up just like it's just going.
No.
to well, like if I
Just a-
wax,
bro.
I know for sure I don't have to like do anything
So,
for like 8 weeks.
8 weeks? I don't know. There's no
Hey,
way.
no, hey, Pete, I'm telling you, that
No,
shit lasts.
8 weeks is 2 months.
yeah.
So listen, if he shaves by himself and then go back so fast that in 2 days he got to shave again,
But no, when
it ain't
you-
lasting him
no,
8
when
weeks.
you-
You cannot. That math ain't
No,
math.
when you
It
wax,
can't be.
your roots become weaker, so the hair
I
grows back
understand
slower.
why wax. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've dealt with women my entire life. I know what waxing does, but no woman who is waxed had this. Well, I ain't gonna say no woman because their waxing is different because they doing a lot more. But I'm just saying that the math is still off to me because if you shave yourself and in 48 hours you have to shave again, how is it lasting 8 months?
I wouldn't say.
I mean,
the
2
48
months.
hours is a bit of an exaggeration. Maybe like 3 to 4 days.
Because, all right, okay. Because that's how I feel. I feel like when
Yeah.
I shave, I'm good. But then a week go by and,
Yeah.
it's starting to come back. And then that, like, so I would say about like a 2 week thing before it's like, oh, this need to get
Yeah.
You go
but
to the same person every time?
2 days. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's a woman.
Yeah.
How is this process going? Because I've never had this process. My homie Ontario told me about the process, but he was talking about like,
I'm actually
The
the only
butt.
man that she's kept on her service. She
That's because
stopped serving
you're not a
men.
freak.
I guess so.
Because when I went, she was like,
things happen.
yeah, she said, whatever happens, don't feel bad. It's just human nature. And I was like, yeah, but no at the same time.
Exactly.
This shit is painful.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine getting aroused from this.
No, but people like that.
Yeah.
I've seen stuff on Twitter, thankfully for Twitter, where girls are just kicking guys in
Yeah.
their pride.
You remember that wiffle bet, KB?
Oh.
What the hell are y'all
I know exactly what
I know
he's
what you're
talking
talking
about.
The
about.
wiffle bet, man.
But
It's one of those
long
videos
as
that you
you
wish
just-
you didn't see. Type
So you
shit.
lay down,
you lay down, and then
you take the hot wax.
she usually if
Small
it's-
talk?
If it's too long, she'll hit you with the razor first to trim all the hairs. Get
Yeah,
them,
okay, let's dial back. I'm your homie,
yeah,
right? But I'm also a big bro.
yeah.
Derek, don't ever go in there where that lady got to do that. She should never have to get her clippers out. If your shit is that long, you got to do something yourself.
Well, no, that's just normal, so that way the pain ain't that bad.
Oh, okay.
They
'Cause
trim
you
it.
say- I'm just going off what you said. You said
No.
she usually do that, but if it's too out of control, then she got to get the clippers.
Yeah, when
But
they pull the
that's
clip,
that's
just,
that black parents that they're like, we gonna get some raids. So when the
bug
insect
people come,
they don't think we got
Yeah,
roaches.
clean up the house. The maid coming.
But no, seriously though, that it's like don't let your
Sometimes-
shit get that
no,
out of
like-
control.
I don't want them to think we got roaches.
Like that's their job.
That's insane. That's insane to go get some raid before the bug people come. Oh man, bro.
Because like the
You know-
longer your hair is, the more painful it is.
No,
so, like
yeah.
if they trim it down a little bit,
yeah.
it takes away the pain. So that way it's just.
But you's a man, damn it.
Do y'all do small talk? Or
yeah,
is
she
it-
talks a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we talk. Like she's talked to me about her boyfriend that live out of the States and stuff, and like
Letting his
she's
ass
cool.
know.
Yeah, made that the first conversation.
This you want to know?
Is she older?
Yeah,
Like not older than you,
she's
but
probably like 40.
When I went, me and Suzanne were going to the same person.
Yeah,
And after we were talking and I was letting her know that, oh yeah, my at that time girlfriend is one of your clients too. She's like, who? And I said, yeah. And the next time Suzanne went there, she told her, oh, I like your boyfriend. And she was like, I hope you don't like him too much. Because how often do you get to talk to somebody that's seen your boyfriend naked?
yeah.
Right.
And
You know?
then they'd be like, "Oh, I like your boyfriend." Like that's
nah, you could add a couple inches, but personality wise, and trust me, I seen the shoe size. I wasn't expecting too much, but I was like, damn, he ain't even got that. But personality wise, he's a nice guy. Personality wise, he's a really nice guy. But no, Ontario told me he went right, and he got the full you did.
yeah.
He said he was embarrassed because she did it and he farted.
Oh no, I've never farted while doing it.
I was like, I know that was embarrassing.
The butt strip ain't even that bad. It don't even hurt.
I don't know if I did that last time I went. Not sure.
Yeah, I remember KB said like the testicles wasn't that painful, but for me that's like the worst area.
Really?
Like I think everybody's is different. That's like the worst area.
Well, y'all got to go do it, and we need to hear y'all account. We could put a mark together.
I'll do it
Two people
myself.
said yes, testicle. 2 people say no, testicle.
I do it myself too. If I did do it, it would really just to prolong it. But I don't. I'm a superior shaver. No, seriously. I never forget when I first started dating Dana, and she would see the results of me shaving. She'd be like, "What? Like, how the hell you get so low? Like, it's smooth. It's like smooth skin or whatever."
What is with Benedict Mathurin pushing people?
I didn't see it.
He just pushed the hell out of Stephon Castle.
For no reason.
I mean, I
had to be
catch
some
before
type of
that.
reason.
Yeah.
The only reason I would start going is because, like, when you start to get lower and lower and you're doing that, I've nipped myself a couple times.
Yeah, I've
and that
definitely done
shit,
that.
boy, that should be making me panic sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
That's
it's
why
my
the
fucking-
wax is probably superior, right?
For
Yeah.
sure.
You ain't got to
Like,
worry
man.
about that as an option, really.
And I never forget, we had a deal with y'all remember we did that thing with Manscaped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They clippers cut me.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
And that's one of their
myself.
promotional
Yeah, that's one of
things.
their
You ain't got to worry
promotions.
about
Yeah,
it.
it cut
Yeah.
me.
I remember they had us talking about nicking your
Debunked.
nuts.
No, it cut me. Like I was like,
Damn.
shit. Like I'm talking about. No, this make it sound I'm bleeding all over the place.
Squirt glove.
Right, that's that. But I'm just saying I'm looking in the water all bright red. I really cut myself. Obviously, I'm all good, but I ain't appreciate that. And my
Yeah.
girl didn't appreciate that either.
I can imagine.
But yeah, that's waxing one-on-one with D Mills.
Every man should definitely get their, hands and feet done, occasional wax. Like
Mm-hmm.
every man should still take care of themselves to the same degree.
Oh no,
It's all hygiene.
You gotta post
it
it on
really is
IG
like-
afterwards saying much needed though.
He
in
just
the
do that
story.
he just do it for the group chat. Just for
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
no, yeah, I believe in that as well. I just if I could do it myself, I'm gonna do it.
I would never wax myself though. That's
No,
I don't
shave
think, no
yourself.
shaving, yeah. But like some
Waxing
people do
yourself
some
sound
people
crazy.
do wax themselves.
Oh, yo,
I
well,
just
women
don't.
wax their legs. I've seen women wax their legs and whatnot.
I don't
but
think I have it in me to pull it, bro. I just don't think I have.
flinching the whole time. You're not
Yeah.
even pulling
Just
it
get
Like,
your
out.
even
girl to
like-
pull it.
Yeah,
Your girl
Angie
pull
will
it.
have no problem pulling.
Y'all ever wax y'all nose hairs?
No.
No, I don't get enough nose hair to do that.
I've seen they put that stick in there and then they just.
Ooh, that
just-
sounds worse.
What
than
am I
nuts.
seeing? I seen it somewhere. Is that a SpongeBob gag?
It might be. SpongeBob got
No,
everything.
because Patrick 100%. All right, I'm looking it up. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I have it in me.
Well, I think
That
he-
sound worse than anything.
I don't know why, but I feel like Patrick did
Yeah.
that, and then he started using it as like a paintbrush. It's like he started
Yes,
using
yes,
it as
yes.
something.
Yes, it's literally it. He because SpongeBob did it and got one thing for the paintbrush, and Patrick did it and got like a full ass. Okay,
Got a
I knew I
bristle
went
brush.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew I went crazy. Okay, now it's real people doing it. Okay, pass. We appreciate y'all watching and listening to this episode of Numbers on the Board. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. NOTBlive.com to get there for San Francisco. Remember, we are
Bay
almost
Area.
sold out.
We coming, baby.
We coming multiple times in the Bay Area.
This will be our third time coming out there.
Yes.
Yep.
This has always been a welcoming time.
Last time I came, it was real fun. We
Usually
had
is.
5 guys.
Okay. All right, get us
We-
out of
we
here.
was
Get
eating
us-
Five
get us
Guys.
out of here. Get us out of here. Get us out of
Did
here.
you not eat 5
Get us
guys
outta
multiple
here.
times
Get us outta here.
in San Francisco?